as well. Too much turnover. 60% of that roster there for Sam Houston is
Mine
new.
was biased. What was yours?
You just biased. Just own it.
Remember, James Dong's out at that left guard position.
You want to go back there?
Season, everybody. We'll see you back here at halftime. Sam Houston, Western Kentucky, coming up.
Where's my
The wait is over. The sights and sounds of college football returns. And so does Phil Longo, back at Sam Houston after 7 years away. Tyson Helton has Western Kentucky primed for another Conference USA run. College football is back.
Let us introduce you to a new season.
Oh, buddy, I can feel it.
He's finally here.
It couldn't have come soon enough.
What a catch behind the back!
Wow.
Beautiful. Hail Mary. And it's gone! What a catch! Bananas.
I don't know if I've ever been more fired up for a college football season.
Wow, it's going to be a great day of college football. Everybody is ready for this.
We are back, and so is Western Kentucky. College football on CBS Sports Network is presented by Geico. Sam Houston, Western Kentucky. Welcome to opening night. Welcome back to college football. I'm Chris Lewis. After a long wait, the tradition returns. The bands, the fans, the rivalries, the unforgettable Saturdays. Get ready for drama every week and new names becoming stars. We begin this journey right here on CBS Sports Network. It's time to bring in our analysts. Super Bowl champ, former running back Robert Turbin, being with you all day. The excitement level for you is back at the level when you were playing.
No doubt about it. I've been around this game since I was 10 years old. I started playing football when I was 10 years old, and the feeling that you get before your first game, it never changes. And I've got butterflies, and I'm excited up here in the booth. I can only imagine what the players feel like. Look, this is the greatest team sport that we have in America. We get a chance to see a couple good ones tonight.
Let's check in on these players. We start on the side of Western Kentucky, and this is the mark of consistency in Conference USA. 8 wins or more in 4 consecutive years. Now, they've gone to the familiar route. FCS ranks for both an offensive coordinator and a quarterback, Maverick McIver from Abilene Christian.
Yeah, he's got big expectations for this season, and what you really love about him is his arm strength. You talk about he's got an explosive arm, which really fits the DNA of a Tyson Helton-led coached offense, and you expect him to hit his stride at some point tonight for some big plays.
And he joins his former offensive coordinator in Rick Bowie. Now for Sam Houston. What a season it was last year, 10 wins, but their head coach Casey Keeler left to take the Temple job. So in comes Phil Longo. He has roots here at Sam Houston, and for more details, let's check in for the first time with our sideline reporter. Here's Lauren Green.
Guys, thank you so much. And a new era kicks off tonight for Sam Houston football under coach Phil Longo. And his journey here has been quite a journey himself. If you take a look back all the way to when he started this journey back in college, he played as a running back at Glassboro State. Then as a coach, he's left his offensive stamp at college programs all across this country. But the last time he served as a head coach, nearly 20 years ago at LaSalle. Last season, Coach Longo called the offense for Wisconsin, and now he returns and makes his Sam Houston debut as the 16th head coach in program history. And he told me he is excited to be back. Guys.
How'd that gap? How often do you see nearly 2 decades between head coaching stints? Phil Longo back at Sam Houston.
You know, he really talked about how connected he had been with the community, even being away for so long. And there's Tyson Helton right there, who's been just a model of consistency for West Kentucky over a number of years. They're expected to have a big turnout tonight.
Here in Western Kentucky, Bowling Green, Kentucky, where the temperature is 84 degrees. Slight wind, but the sun will set over towards the far side as this game moves on. Will cool off towards the second half, but it is a hot one on that turf to get us started. Week 0, college football, and what a seed for the fans of the Hilltoppers who have come out. Sam Houston won the toss. They choose to defer. DeMarco Williams is back, ready to return for Western Kentucky. We waited 7 months. So many debates, conversation, things to fill the airtime since the championship game of Ohio State beating Notre Dame. And it looks like we have a headset issue already. So week 0, you got to work out the kinks. You begin week 0 with a conference game, so you come out of the gates with a matchup that has a lot of stakes. These two teams met last season. Western Kentucky won it. They got the tiebreaker over the Bearcats. That happened to be the difference on why Western Kentucky played in the Conference USA Championship game.
Yeah, and I was a part of that game against Jacksonville State, and obviously Jacksonville State came out on top, but you know, Western Kentucky had a strong start to the year last year, Chris, and then sort of tapered off that second half of the year. You know, going into this season, talking with Coach Helton, they want the consistency that they've been, you know, really familiar with over several years now with him being the head coach.
Christian Pavon ready to kick off. It's Williams back. College football, we missed you. Welcome back. And this is Williams from a couple yards deep. Takes it out, maneuvers towards the near side, and sprawls forward past the 15. Great job by the Sam Houston special teams unit. Tough field position for the Hilltoppers to begin the 2025 season. Maverick McIver from Abilene Christian, 3 years there. He lit it up in the FCS ranks with his offensive coordinator, Rick Bowie. Now they are rejoined here in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Yeah, both back together again here in Western Kentucky, and you know the chemistry exists between those two, but the question mark is going to be, A, how quickly can McIver get in rhythm with his wide receivers, and B, only one starter on the offensive line back from last season. Can they protect the quarterback?
McIver, his first pass is a Hilltopper, is off to the left side. It's caught on the run by Marvis Parrish, the freshman, who has first down yardage before Jaden Scott makes the tackle. You mentioned it, Turbo, the offensive line. Marshall Jackson returns, all conference caliber, but a lot of new for Western Kentucky.
Marshall Jackson, the leader of this team, a culture setter, big-time football player.
On 1st and 10, here's Parrish. Runs right into the leading returning tackler for Sam Houston and C.J. Johnson. Now, Sam Houston, last year they had the best defense in Conference USA, but they are missing their top 16 tacklers from a season ago. It's a whole new look unit.
Yeah, 0 starters returning this season for Sam Houston. How will the chemistry and communication form over the course of this football game?
On 2nd down, McIver. He has Jairus Mack to the near sideline, but Iman Allen makes the tackle immediately to bring up 3rd down.
The thing to look for here with this Western Kentucky offense, you see already some quick passes, some short ones. They want to attack down the field, Chris, but as you start this game and you've got some new wide receivers, it's all about trying to catch that rhythm first. We got some whistles.
Ron Hudson is our referee. We had some headset issues right before kickoff. The officials want to make sure it's an even side on each side for the headset communications. If one goes out on one side, you need the other ones to be taken off, at least until the other one gets fixed. You get the thumbs up from the side of Phil Longo on Sam Houston. All that before a 3rd down and 7.
In these key downs, McIver wanting to identify who his favorite target's going to be in these situational moments.
Plenty of time to work with. Guns it deep. Down the near sideline. Jump ball. Knocked down. Matthew Henry, the receiver. He got the first hand on it, but it's incomplete. C.J. Brown, the safety, came rotating over to bring up 4th down.
A stop and go that time from Matthew Henry. Nice recognition by C.J. Brown, a player who's shown a lot of promise during training camp and earned the starting role for this defense. And right there, able to be disruptive enough to make a play.
Yeah, although the receiver, Henry, did get a paw on it. Cole Maynard in the punt. Iman Allen's the returner for the Bearcats. Calls fair catch at the 20. So the first big decision for Phil Longo was who would be the quarterback. Hunter Watson's the returner. He was pushed in camp by Mabry Matoyer, but it is Watson who was notified really right before the game that he would be the starting quarterback.
And he was their do-it-all player last season, throwing for almost 2,000 yards, but also led this team in carries and rush TDs. And so a little bit of different style offense under Phil Longo. Don't expect him to run as much, but he still has that skill set once he gets under pressure.
He brings a variation of the air raid, turning the Bearcats into the Aircats. Elijah Green on the swing pass, and a well-designed first play offensively in the Phil Longo era. DeMarco Williams finally runs him out, but a big gain on first.
Just a quick screen pass, getting some blockers out in front. Wide receivers did a nice job getting hands on the secondary there. Good vision by Elijah Green to get downhill for a first down.
On first, wrapped up in the backfield. Green went nowhere. He ran right into Harper Holloman.
And one of the things to pay attention to now for this Western Kentucky defense, we understand that they struggled in the run game last season. Can they be impactful tonight?
See the weapons for Sam Houston, their leading returning receiver, Quavez Humphreys. Second down and 11. Once again, Green tunnels up the middle, gets past the 40, and brings up third down, medium distance. Western Kentucky defensively, their bugaboo last year was stopping the run. They gave up more than 200 yards per game on the ground last year.
They brought up some transfers up front to try to help that. We'll see how they fare tonight.
Green bobbles, gathers, but taken out. Nasir Ward, the cornerback, read the swing pass and sets up fourth down in about 3.
Phil Longo showing some aggressiveness potentially here. I would punt this football if I'm Phil Longo in this situation. It looks like the punt team is now entering the field. He thought about it for a second, though.
Yeah, the offense lingered on the field. They'll bring out Curtis Durand, who is the punter, who was signed in April, true freshman from Melbourne, Australia. Katie Hutchinson is the returner for Western Kentucky. So two teams came in, Bill, with, hey, these new offenses, high-flying. The defenses for each unit start strong. Fair catch, Hutchinson backpedals right around the 12-yard line. Conference USA, week 0. It's a conference game. There is stakes to begin the year. Big Red is watching you right on the water tower overlooking the field here in Western Kentucky. Big Red wants to know, Turbo, what are your keys?
Well, for Sam Houston's deep ball execution, we know that they want to be aggressive running the football, but they'll have some opportunities for some shots downfield. Got to execute them. And then with the new defense, their secondary communication is going to be huge for Western Kentucky. Man, they got to be gap sound on defense. We understand how they struggled in the run game defensively last year. Being gap sound is going to help that. And then ball discipline. This is a defense for Sam Houston that loves to attack the football. They've got to take care of it offensively for Western Kentucky.
And it's fascinating with this being a conference game right out of the gate. Usually week 1, you want to do a little experimenting, see what you got. Really can't afford it. This is a key conference game right out of the gate. And the 25-year-old at quarterback just turned 25 yesterday. Maverick McIver, one of the best names in college football. The handoff to Parrish is brought down by Zaki Lawton, who is back. He's played only just one game over the last 4 years, dealing with various injuries. And his prior stops, West Virginia and Cincinnati. No gain on first. Second down and 10. McIver, quick toss over the middle. We'll get a few to set up third down. Matthew Henry makes the reception in his first grab.
Huge piece to this football game in terms of being able to keep drives going. If you're Western Kentucky right now, working the short and intermediate game, you're used to them taking shots down the field. But in the third and manageable, this should be easy money for Western Kentucky.
With Mack, the motion man, on third. Quick fire to the far side. Mack again. Second grab for Jay Iris. They call him No Mack, and a first down for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, lined up in a bunch formation, and then nice out-breaking route able to keep his balance down the sideline to be able to get a couple extra yards. Just good execution there on third down to move the sticks.
Offensive coordinator Rick Bowie said that this team will go 6-7 deep at receiver in this air raid. And right in stride, Musa Berry across midfield into Sam Houston territory. And a fresh set of downs coming up for the Hilltoppers.
Musa Berry is a receiver that they really like in this in-breaking route, able to catch it and get upfield. Nice outside threat, had a really nice training camp this season and earned a starting job.
Big play target on first. Play action. Mick Ivor unleashes. He has Berry just over his head. Boy, that would have been a 44-yard touchdown strike. Mick Ivor just missed.
And these are the shots that Western Kentucky wants to take down the field. We talked about it at the start of the game. Just out of the reach that time for Musa Berry off the play action. But make no mistake, Western Kentucky is going to continue to take those shots.
You mentioned the receiver-quarterback chemistry is an early factor for Mick Ivor and his group. Shimmying to the outside, the true freshman, Marvis Parrish, who's Western Kentucky starting running back in this game. C.J. Brown finally makes the tackle.
And very interesting in our conversation with Coach Tyson Helton, he said, look, be on the lookout for a true freshman. His name is Marvis Parrish. There he is, number 21. Didn't expect him to start tonight, but he did get the start and taken advantage of the opportunity so far.
Gains 18. Mick Ivor off the play action. It's dropped. Hutchinson was a team leader in receptions coming back. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, ball just behind Hutchinson that time, but you got to catch that one. Looked like he was trying to run up the field before catching the ball first and securing it, forcing a 2nd down.
A whole new look Western Kentucky team with just 3 returning starters and over 40 incoming transfers. Mick Ivor down the seam off the fingertips of Parrish. That one had a lot of steam on it.
Right off the play action again, and McIver throws a laser, and I think Marvis Parrish just not quite ready for that one. When he threw the football, didn't get his head around in time, and that's what led to the drop.
2 drops on this drive. 3rd down and 10. McIver has time. Tries near side. Henry's there. Over the shoulder. Count it. Touchdown. A Maverick McIver masterpiece. And Matthew Henry has Western Kentucky's first score of 2025.
There's a catch, right foot down. Looks to me he's in right there. There's a catch, he's got that right foot down. Hits the pylon. You talked about the throw right there, Chris, but maybe even a better catch. Great concentration by Matthew Henry, being able to come down with that football, get a foot down, and get the score.
The FCS All-American came over from Western Illinois. Henry's from Miami. What an incredible catch. Welcome to the Hill. John Cannon, new kicker, replacing an excellent kicker, Lucas Carneiro, transferred to Ole Miss. Extra point right through. Western Kentucky with the new Rick Bowie offense. There is a flag down on the point after. Well, we'll check the penalty. They waved that penalty off, so the extra point through, count it. And this is the first touchdown called by Rick Bowie, the offensive coordinator from the Hilltoppers. Right to Henry. McIver on the board as a member of Western Kentucky. The Abilene Christian connection, if you will. Offensive coordinator Rick Bowie and new quarterback Maverick McIver. And you can see what those two, the chemistry that they've had 3 years at Abilene Christian. And McIver threw for 63 touchdowns. And again, Rick Bowie was calling the plays there. It's a guy who was a grad assistant just 5 years ago for Dana Holgorsen, a rapid rise to being an offensive coordinator and play caller for a team as dynamic and consistent as Western Kentucky.
And the interesting thing about that point is, I mean, this Tyson Helton is an offensive coach. This is the first time Coach Rick Bowie has worked under an offensive head coach, and talked about the luxury that it has for him to be able to learn from somebody who's been in a bunch of different styles, who's been around coaching for a long time, went into this job with a learning mindset, and his connection with Tyson Helton has really come on strong early. And I think it's led to the early success that we're seeing in this game.
Yeah, Rick Bowie couldn't have said nicer things about Tyson Helton, including allowing him to be a dad for Rick Bowie. His daughter was born 6 days before he moved to Western Kentucky to begin his new stint as the OC. The play clock winding down, flag down, delay of game to begin this drive for Sam Houston. Those are some of the mistakes you see in a season opener.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about the newness on the Western Kentucky side, but also on the Sam Houston side, and there is new offensive coordinator Zach Patterson, who we had an opportunity to talk to and had very strong words about Hunter Watson and how good of a player he is and his expectations for tonight.
Different style of offense he's operating this season, but he still has that running ability. Slides shy of the 30-yard line. He began his slide around the 27.
Looking for a receiver on the outside, unable to identify anyone there open, so he uses his legs to get as many yards as he can, and that's what he can do. He's got the ability to run and use his versatility with his feet. Expect more of that tonight.
On second down, keeps it with play action, rifles it to the near side. Flag down on the far side of the field. Wouldn't be third down for Sam Houston. Derek Bledsoe, the third on the reception.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Number 52, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So 2 penalties on this sequence of downs already for the Bearcats.
Yeah, pretty common in an RPO offense. You fake the run, you got the option to give it on the run or pull it for a pass, and sometimes those offensive linemen get down the field a little bit too quickly.
Spread it out 4 wide, second and long. Screen near side, it's Green, swallowed up immediately. The Hilltoppers defense all over that one. Holloman and Brackenridge right in the area. Third down coming up.
Harper Holloman, he wasn't fooled at all. I mean, he just stood right there on the outside and just waited for Green essentially to catch the football. And he made the first hit, and then Anthony Brackenridge came to clean it up.
So third down and 17 coming up. Brackenridge trying to hustle off the field. Miscommunication for Western Kentucky, had too many players on, so they call a timeout. With 7:10 to go in the first, Western Kentucky, the game's first touchdown. This is the ensuing drive for Sam Houston. And Casey Keeler was their head coach last year. Keep in mind, for the Bearcats, this is just their third year at the FBS level. First year, they were 3-9. They had one of the best turnarounds in college football, one of the most impressive seasons across the board last year, going 10-3. So now that's what Phil Longo takes over with, basically a whole new defense, some returning members of the offense, including the quarterback and Watson.
Yeah, no doubt, and they're really out to prove that last year wasn't a fluke, that this is a team that has high standards and that can consistently win in college football. And, although they've got a lot of new players on this team, they do have some familiarity in terms of, who this team is from an identity standpoint, and they've leaned on those returning guys heading into this year.
Tough situation here, 3rd and 17, and Watson's in trouble. Jumps and throws to the near side on a check down. Green steps out of bounds. But Western Kentucky, aided by a couple of penalties for Sam Houston, forces the punt unit on. This defense fired up. Devon Brown, who got elevated to the defensive coordinator position. Love talking to him. He had some new ideas for a unit last year that towards the end of the year struggled, especially against the run. Durand in the punt, the Australian. Hutchinson has space, lost it. Did he touch it? That's the question. Right around the 25-yard line.
I couldn't tell initially whether or not that football hit Hutchinson.
Sam Houston all over it. If he touched it, that's a fumble.
Sam Houston doing exactly what they're supposed to do, jump on the football. Referees are discussing what the call is going to be here.
Is that the receiving team did not touch the ball. Therefore, Western Kentucky's football at the end of the kick, first down, timeout.
Now, to note, that is the side of the stadium that Hutchinson's looking at where the sun is setting. So the sun right in his eyes as he tries to track that football. Let's take a look.
Yeah, he's trying to locate it there. Can't get quite under it. Did it hit the left shoulder pad?
That's what I was
right
wondering,
there?
too. Did that bounce up?
Oh.
Really close. We'll continue to evaluate. Hutchinson frustrated. Western Kentucky for now with the football. Under review as Western Kentucky leads 7-0. Katie Hutchinson scrambled to try to return this punt. Lost it in the sun. He's looking right at it. Did that ball bounce and hit his shoulder is what they're looking at. Ruled initially he did not touch it. Clear recovery by Sam Houston. They're also looking at that. Adrian Murdahl, right there, number 38 for the Bearcats, was on top of the football.
Chris, I thought this ball bounced and hit his shoulder right there. And a clean recovery by Sam Houston, and I think they're going to recover this football. Here's another look at it. There's the bounce. Boom, right there. I thought it hit him right there on the left shoulder. We'll take one last look at it. There's the bounce. Boom, shoulder. Bam, right there. I think that's a muffed punt. Here comes the offense, too, for Sam Houston, getting ready to come onto the field.
Sometimes the instincts don't lie. You saw Hutchinson immediately try to recover it, thinking that it might have hit him. Mike Deefy is the coordinator of officials, and his staff is in charge of these reviews in Pittsburgh.
After review, it was determined that the ball hit the return player in the left shoulder. There was immediate recovery by the kicking team. First down, Sam Houston, 24-yard line.
So you were right on top of it, Robert. Sam Houston football, they get their first break of the season.
Yeah, a break that they absolutely needed. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively so far in this football game. Here it is, an opportunity right outside of the red zone to be able to get a score.
Remember what Tyson Helton told us in the meeting? More teams lose games week 0, week 1 than win them. They make mistakes. Western Kentucky makes the first big mistake. Just see that sun. It is blaring as you try to glare at it, recovering these kicks and punts. 1st and 10, handoff. Green swallowed up immediately. Western Kentucky focused all offseason on stopping the run. Miller Malone does it that time.
Nice job by Miller Malone, just knifing through the gap, reading the blocking scheme, getting into the backfield for a TFL, and something Coach Devon Brown, defensive coordinator, loves to see right now from his defense.
Yeah, more than 220 yards per game allowed on the ground. Jacksonville State, a big part of the reason why. Surrounded and grounded. Hunter Watson can't escape. Machiavelli Malatumau from Nevada, the transfer, makes his first big play.
And the issue right now for this offense, Chris, is they want to be up-tempo. They want to get to the line of scrimmage quickly. There's Hunter Henry rolling out to the right, can't find an open receiver, and there he is right there, Malatumau getting the sack. But when you're playing behind the sticks, Chris, you can't get to line of scrimmage quickly and play with that tempo offense. They're playing too slow right now.
A lot of third down and longs as well. Watson, slant pattern. Reception made Grady O'Neal, but well shy of first down yardage. Fourth down decision time here for new coach Phil Longo.
Get 3 right now. Your offense really hasn't been in rhythm to start this football game. You're in field goal range. You can get a little bit of momentum by getting some points right here. Good decision by Coach Longo to kick the field goal.
So it'll be a 41-yarder. R.J. Lopez, who came over from Purdue, although he did not kick a season ago at Purdue. Back in 2023, UCLA, he was 6 for 11. He's a short-range kicker. This one from 41 has enough leg and through. So Sam Houston gets 3 points off the Western Kentucky mistake on the muff punt. So R.J. Lopez, Huntington Beach, California. First 3 points wearing these orange looks as a member of the Bearcats.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. By Verizon. And by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef?
Something about the opening game that brings out the kid in you that fell in love with the game in the first place. Sam Houston in Western Kentucky, week 0 in Conference USA. After the made field goal, from a yard deep, DeMarco Williams weaves to the 20. Let's go down to the sidelines with Lauren Green.
Thanks, guys. We are starting to see Western Kentucky's offense clicking early on in this game, and that's by no surprise if you take a look at things. Offensive coordinator Rick Bowie and also the quarterback Maverick McIver, well, they both came from Abilene Christian, so they have a lot of continuity together that they brought here to Western Kentucky. Maverick told me Coach Bowie sped up this transition process since he's been here, and Maverick just take a huge step as a quarterback over the last 2 years. And we're seeing this clicking on the field now, guys.
Trying to go back to the playbook, Lauren, that Western Kentucky had so much success with in 2021. A quick pitch to Mack, who gets a couple. But you remember back in 2021, needed a quarterback, needed an offensive coordinator, and what did Tyson Helton do? He went to Houston Baptist, brought over a guy named Bailey Zappi to be the quarterback, and didn't only bring in the quarterback from Houston Baptist, brought in the coordinator, Zach Hitley, and that connection yielded over 60 touchdowns when they were together, 62. It was an impressive year. Eamon Allen in coverage there on the sidelines. It's 3rd and 8. So, yeah, transfer up with us. Notable recent Western Kentucky quarterbacks. Bailey Zappi, 62 touchdowns at Houston Baptist, coming up and being the contributor and all-conference caliber leader for Western Kentucky.
I'm Maverick McIver. I'm looking at that like, man, I got some work to do to catch up to these guys.
3rd down and 8. McIver on the drag route. Barry turns it up the field. Has first down yardage. Slung down right by the sideline. Enough to move the chain. Cecil Powell on the stop.
Really nice by McIver. Look at how patient he is as the pocket is collapsing on him. No panic. Able to throw a nice softball there to his wide receiver, and then he's able to get the yak yardage to get the first down.
Picked up 13. George Hart said they fake it to him and dish it to the near sideline, and Mack has been the go-to guy in this first half for the Hilltoppers.
Well, he's a player that had a really nice training camp. Tyson Helton talked about how impressive he had been over the course of training camp during the fall, and man, he's making some plays tonight. No surprise to the coaching staff.
Gains 5 on first down. Pressure look from Sam Houston. Hart wiggles to the far side and loses about a yard. So that Sam Houston defense that was ranked atop Conference USA last year, but a whole new look unit on that side of the ball. Brings up a 3rd down and 6.
One of the things that this defense for Sam Houston lived off of last season, Chris, was takeaways, and it's a big part of their philosophy as they're trying to get guys off the field here. We're hoping Western Kentucky will snap the football, but you got to give defense time to substitute, but they want to be able to get these takeaways tonight.
Clean pocket McIver. Contact before the ball arrived, but do not see a flag down. Looking for Cameron Flowers, positioned right past the 1st down sticks. Tyler Bailey, I should say, was the one to make that initial contact.
Yeah, Tyler Bailey was in coverage, and I thought he got there a little early. There he is. Yep, that right arm on the shoulder of Cameron Flowers before the ball gets there, and I thought that should have been a called pass interference.
Instead, the punt unit on. Cole Maynard bounces inside to 30 and rolls to the sideline.
So what an opportunity now, Chris, for Sam Houston. You get a defensive stop. Offensively, you've started the game slow. And here it is with the ball back.
So Sam Houston, there's a chance to take the lead perhaps on this drive. Last year 10-3. It was a turnaround from a year ago where 3-9. That was their first year, that 3-9 in the FBS level. So Casey Keeler left. He went to Temple. So in comes Phil Longo with a whole new look defense. 0 starters back. And yeah, for their home games this year, away from Huntsville, they'll have to travel to Houston, Shell Energy Stadium this year for all their home games, with Bauer Stadium undergoing renovations. Sloppy operation once again for Coach Phil Longo.
False start. Offense. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
These week 0 errors piling up for the Bearcats.
Here it is again. Everybody on the same page with the snap count except the center, and this offense starting the drive, moving backwards.
So a 1st and 15 from the 19. Alton McCaskill. Not much space, but moves the pile to gain 4. Approaching the 2-minute to go mark here in the 1st quarter. Chris Lewis, Robert Turman, Lauren Green on the sideline. Sam Houston and Western Kentucky here at Conference USA. Fake the swing pass. Wide open player down the seam. Rumbles to the 40-yard line.
And this is really good by Hunter Watson right here. He's going to take the snap. Look at his running back, not there. Pump fake, not there in the middle. Then locates his wide receiver right there in the slot.
That's Rayfield Lawton. Little used tight end right up the middle of the field. And on 1st down in plus territory. And give it to the back McCaskill for a yard.
Just a really nice job going through his progression there on that last play. Maybe starting to find some confidence here, Hunter Watson.
Watson a winner. And going back to 2023, Iowa Western led them to the Junior College National Championship. And then 10 wins last year for Sam Houston. 2nd and 9. Play fake. Roll out to the right. He has those wheels. Sidearm delivery knocked away. And incomplete. Nazir Ward right there in coverage.
How about the acceleration by Nazir Ward breaking on that football? Looks like he's got an open target going down the sideline, and Nazir Ward just hit the acceleration button, and he's excited to put this team in another 3rd and long situation.
Highlights his own work. 3rd down, 9 to go. A timeout called Western Kentucky. 2nd time they've had to use a timeout defensively.
Western Kentucky, their 2nd of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
In the 1st quarter.
You know, it's really interesting the dynamic between the two offenses so far in this football game. You know, for Sam Houston, they've got some returning players, but they've got a brand new offense, right? An offense that even Hunter Watson is not familiar with. And then for Western Kentucky, although they've got a bunch of new players as well, they've got an offense that they're somewhat, you know, got some continuity
the quarterback's
with.
At least familiar with it.
Exactly. And so you see the operation happening a little differently, right? Sam Houston having some hiccups, not as many for Western Kentucky on the offensive side of the football, but it looks like Sam Houston is maybe finding a little bit of a groove here. Big third down situation here coming up. 41% last year conversion rate on third down for Sam Houston.
It's been a lot of third and long so far for the Bearcats. A draw, Watson lowers the shoulder, keeps on going, and that's what Bearcats fans loved last season. At the quarterback spot, a tough runner, second effort gives him the first.
First, watch the patience to find the crease and then lowering his shoulder and running over defender. Boom, right there. Keeping his balance to get the extra yardage. That is what you love about Hunter Watson right there.
That toughness. Refused to go down before he had enough yardage. From the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. They have to get this play off before the expiration of the first quarter clock. McCaskill runs left side, not much there. Western Kentucky continues a strong run defense in the opening quarter.
And you can tell Western Kentucky has really been intentional about that.
Okeke on the stop. That does it for the opening frame. 15 minutes of 2025 done for Sam Houston and Western Kentucky. And McIver has the TD strike. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. Start of the second, moments ago, Lauren Green with Phil Longo.
Coach, you like your players to play fast and instinctually. How are you going to do that in the second quarter?
Well, we picked up a little bit. We just have to cut out the missed assignments. We get rid of the MAs, and I like what we're doing.
Coach, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
The penalties, a story of the first quarter. The biggest mistake, though, in this game came from Western Kentucky, a muff punt, which set up Sam Houston with the field position to get their 3 points. Second down, and Watson, the running threat at quarterback, surrounded and goes nowhere. In fact, a loss of a half yard.
You know, we had a conversation with defensive coordinator Devon Brown for West Kentucky, and we asked him, you know, how do you fix this run game from last season? And, you know, it's really just about the discipline, staying in your gaps and guys executing on assignments, and we're seeing that tonight.
Third down on the borderline of field goal range for Sam Houston. Watson again creates something out of nothing. To the sideline he goes. He's pushed out of bounds at the 25. Now those few yards do make a difference in terms of field goal range. We'll see how Coach Longo approaches this.
And again, I would kick this field goal if I'm Phil Longo. If you've got confidence in your kicker, I understand that your offense has found a little bit of rhythm now into this second quarter. But points are at a premium, I believe, in this football game, and I would kick it. It looks like he's deciding to go for it here.
There's Devon Brown signaling out the defense. You have a shouting match on each sideline. It's fun, but how about a timeout to better talk about it and save the vocal cords?
Sam Houston, their first and a half. To be a 30-second timeout.
Timeout before a 4th down and 5. A key moment here in the second in Bowling Green. Some of the best parts of college football happens away from the field. The band, yes, it's back, week 0. Houchin-Smith Stadium here in Bowling Green. So a big decision here for Coach Phil Longo. 4th down. Before the break, he had his offense on the field looking like he would go for it. Instead, after the timeout, here's R.J. Lopez in to kick a 43-yard field goal from the left side hash. Kick goes wide to the right, no good. So he had the offense on, thought better of it with the 30-second timeout. Those 30 seconds meant Lopez came on the field to kick. And that one wasn't really close.
Yeah, and again, I mean, kicking into the sun, you wonder, you know, how well he could see. He executed on the other side on the kick, and obviously Coach Helton loves it. The missed field goal gets some momentum for his offense coming back, and disappointment there from Sam Houston. And there's the sun shining in, Chris.
I'd say good luck. Sunglasses needed looking in that direction. McIver hit as he throws. That is incomplete. Matthew Henry broke free in the secondary. Jameer Diaz came in the pressure. Maverick McIver.
And finally, this Sam Houston defense able to get into the pocket and, you know, be disruptive there for Maverick McIver as he was going through his progression. And that's something Sam Houston's going to have to do consistently here for this defense to continue to have success.
Experienced college quarterback, but his first year at Western Kentucky hands it. Parrish gets nothing. Third down coming up. McIver's 25 years old. This is his 7th year of college football. Going back to when he was recruited at Texas Tech, the coach who recruited him was Cliff Kingsbury. That just shows you how long ago it was when he started his career there. Limited time at Texas Tech, spent 3 years there, didn't have a pass attempt. McIver on third down the near sidelines, tipped and nearly picked. Jairus Mack, the receiver, but Jace Arnold was all over it, bringing up fourth down.
Jace Arnold, Wisconsin transfer, 4-star recruit, and just look at the technique, patient with the wide receiver. As soon as he sees Jairus Mack turn his head, he turns his, and he's able to get his hands on the football after he locates it in the air. Just really good technique that time by Jace Arnold to force a fourth down and a punt.
Sam Houston's defense comes up large there after the missed field goal. 3 and out to get their offense right back at it. Cole Maynard, dad, longtime NFL punter. Brad, 15 years in the league. Allen creates a couple of yards. Sun is setting, but hasn't set yet. Have to deal with it moving in this direction at Houchin-Smith Stadium. Tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network, We Need to Talk. It's up close with the WNBA. Kiana Martin and Lisa Leslie break down the Indiana Fever, taking on the Minnesota Lynx. Western Kentucky, story of their season last year, got 8 wins again for the 4th consecutive season. Made a bowl for the 10th time in 11 years, including 6 straight. This year, though, new look team, like a lot of teams in college football. They're a preseason pick number 2 in the Conference USA preseason poll. They finished second last year. A tiebreaker with Sam Houston that they got by beating Sam Houston in their regular season matchup. And then Western Kentucky fell to Jacksonville State in a game that you called, Turbo. Swing pass on first down to Elijah Green. Second down coming up for Sam Houston. The new look offense for the Bearcats, or what they're dubbing the Aircats now with the air raid. Wow. But it's Watson on the ground and plenty of space. No one around him. Off to the races and takes it to the house. Forget the aerial attack. 54 yards for Hunter Watson. And Sam Houston in front.
And this is why he led the team last season in rushing TDs. Nobody in the middle of the defense for Western Kentucky. Split wide open. And I think you and I at this stage, Chris, could have ran for that touchdown. Great execution by the offense.
I agree, except for the U parts. I think you could do it, Turbo. Former NFL running back. Low-level high school basketball player is the peak of my athletic achievement. Nothing like Hunter Watson. Long strides. Sam Houston has the lead on the road. Hunter Watson gallop, and Sam Houston leads. Go from football to footy as Juventus takes on Parma in a Serie A showdown. That's all the action tomorrow, 2:45 Eastern on CBS Sports Network and streaming live on Paramount Plus. This game changed with the blink of an eye or maybe the sprint of a Watson. 54 yards. And all of a sudden, Sam Houston, after a sloppy first quarter, has the lead. Team that won 10 games a season ago in just their second season in FBS. Pavon kicks off through the end zone. All right, how did this touchdown happen?
Well, this is what has plagued Western Kentucky since last year. They're in really a cover zero, which is everybody's manned up here, and nobody has. Then the quarterback, you're going to see this guy lined up for that running back right there, roll it. And everybody just kind of spreads out. They bring 5 for 5 on the offensive line, and somebody gets out of their gap in the middle. And Coach Longo talked to our partner, Lauren Green, about fixing the missed assignments, and that was executed perfectly by the Sam Houston offense there.
It almost felt like Watson knew immediately when he touched the football in the shotgun snap that would be open just the way it was. Big hit along the sideline as Parrish gets drilled by Antavius Fish, the Akron transfer.
A lot of great things that this coaching staff had to say about Antavius Fish. Look at this hit. He comes downhill. Boom. Clean. Now they're bringing the physicality.
And that physicality continues on second down. Fish again. He is the captain. And he said that Freddie Autry-Lindsey mentioned that he came in immediately right out of the gate, said, I'm the leader, I'm the captain. And that's sort of how he earned the captainship.
Well, nobody knew each other on this defense, right? And he was the guy that rallied all the guys together, got everybody hanging out, and sort of became the leader that way. And that's how this defense is sort of gelled over the course of training camp.
Third down, 6 to go. McIver. Back shoulder throw is there. Matthew Henry right along the sideline. That's a key third down conversion for the Hilltoppers.
One of the strengths of McIver's game is throwing this back shoulder. Nice concentration that time by Matthew Henry. They love him in one-on-one situations. They take advantage of it there.
Third catch for Henry. McIver looked like he was grabbed around the face mask. Indeed he was. A couple of flags come in as he dives ahead. He points his arm forward, signaling first down. He knows exactly where he was grabbed.
And getting a little bit of pressure up front, and just that right hand right there. That's number 97, Dylan Frazier.
Personal foul, face mask, number 97, defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
And he comes off the field there. Sometimes you're just trying to make a play, and he's trying to get off the block and make the tackle there just a little high, and grabs the face mask and gives West Kentucky 15 more yards.
Both teams like to play with a lot of pace, which means as a defensive lineman, want to get some breaks on the sideline to try to get the rotation in so the line doesn't get tired. 1st and 10. The true freshman, Marvis Parrish, running hard past the 30. Actually spotted at the 31. Alonzo Edwards Jr. on the tackle.
It's really interesting how he won this job, Chris. I mean, you're talking about George Hart, who's a 5th-year senior. They got a graduate senior on the roster, another senior in Jaden McGill. And here's the freshman, Marvis Parrish, getting the bulk of the carries tonight.
Valdosta, Georgia, the backyard of Rick Bowie. Play action fake, laser over the middle, too tall for Noah Myers. He had space, but that's the second time we've seen McIver throw a fastball in a situation that might not have needed it.
He's got to take a little bit off of that one right there. I know he wants that one back. And I think simultaneously, if Noah Myers is able to get his head around a little bit quicker, he might be able to come down with that football. Once again here, a critical third down.
On third, pressure in his face, back pedals to get rid of it, right in stride. K.D. Hutchinson, first down in Western Kentucky.
And the thing that's been really impressive about Maverick McIver tonight is we've seen him under pressure a couple times in this game, and here it is again, and just able to stand in there and keep his composure and still deliver an accurate football for a first down. Very impressive.
He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. Qualities that Tyson Helton says you need as a quarterback. He throws another fade ball, this time near side, knocked away. And Kelby Williams, the receiver who did have a step. Yeah. Cecil Powell, though, knocks it away.
Yeah, McIver, he knows it. He's got to put a little bit more on that one. Kelby Williams has got to step on it. And just a little too soft that time. Williams having to come back for the football and not able to get it there.
Just enough for Powell to make a play. Second down, 10 to go. To the sideline, Hutchinson again, the diminutive receiver at just 5'8". Tough guy, though, and a big play threat. Gets it to the sidelines to set up a 1st and goal.
Well, you talk about how tough he is.
Tonight's Red Zone is brought to you by Verizon. Western Kentucky right in it.
Talk about the toughness of number 2, Katie Hutchinson. Played all 14 games last season, and his availability is what makes him a great receiver.
It's actually 1st and 10 from the 11 is where the ball is spotted. Here's Lavelle Wright, one of those experienced running backs, Turbo, that you just mentioned. Runs right into Diaz. Grad student from Louisville. Last year played at Austin Peay and Lavelle Wright. Had 5 touchdowns there.
We were expecting to see one of these veteran running backs come in these short yardage, red zone situations, a little bit of a change of pace as they're more downhill physical type runners.
Just 2 tight ends on the near side, no receivers. Haven't seen many 2 tight end sets so far in this first half. They sweep it on the outside. Matthew Henry, a lot of parallel running, not much forward. That's a 3rd down and long coming up for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, good job by the defense. Jackson West, the tight end for Western Kentucky, out there on the block, not able to secure it, which then allowed Sam Houston to be able to get there and make the play. And they've been in a couple 3rd down situations on this drive. Look out for number 17, Matthew Henry, or number 2, Katie Hutchinson. They've come up clutch so far on this drive.
Mack in the true slot. Next slot is Henry looking that direction. Instead, it's a slant. Berry extends to the 1. Remember, they could get the 1st down without scoring a touchdown. The 1st down stick was the 1-yard line. 1st down, Western Kentucky.
Sam Houston, they want a flag on a pick play. They felt like Hutchinson purposely got in the way of the DB who was in man coverage that time. Nonetheless, a 1st down for Western Kentucky.
Methodical drive for the Hilltoppers right on the doorstep, 1st and goal. With Myers in motion. The give to Wright. Touchdown, Western Kentucky.
And a really nice answer for Western Kentucky. Helped by a penalty there, the face mask. That got them the 1st down. But how about Lavelle Wright? Tell you what, running backs, when we get that close to the end zone, man, all we smell are touchdowns, and he's able to get in that time.
And he's familiar with this end zone, Lavelle Wright. He went to North Hardin High School nearby. His 1st ever high school game was at this stadium.
Wow.
So it is a homecoming for Lavelle Wright. And he is elated to be back. Two seasons ago, Lavelle Wright was injured at Kentucky, needed a new spot and a new start. Went over to Austin Peay and produced, had 5 touchdowns there. Gets into the end zone in his 1st game with Western Kentucky.
And one of the reasons why he came to Western Kentucky, Chris, was he just, he wanted a bigger opportunity. He wanted a bigger stage for his career, as he pursues wanting to play at the next level.
So a touchdown pass, McIver to Henry, the Western Kentucky 1st score. And then the 2nd score, a 1-yard touchdown plunge from Wright. Jack Cassidy kicks off for WKU out of the end zone. And a chance to see Hunter Watson again. A dynamic running threat showed us in the last drive.
Well, we talked about how this offense is going to be different in terms of him throwing the ball a little bit more, but he is who he is, and when he needs to use his legs, he can be dominant, and we've seen it so far in this football game. He's leading the team in rushing. He got into the end zone on the big touchdown that gave them the lead temporarily. Just expect to see more of it tonight. There it is, 71 passing yards, 72 on the ground, and I mentioned it at the start of the game, Chris. He's the total package and can do it all at quarterback.
First player in Sam Houston history last year to have 3 100-yard games as a quarterback on the ground. Keeps the ball here, plenty of time. Creates himself, zips to the near side on a line. Quavez Humphreys right by the sideline.
Offensive line gave him some really good time in the pocket there. Wanted to go deep left, was patient, came back right, found a target for a good gain on first down.
They give him 9. 2nd and 1. Quick delivery, drops. So Humphreys can't follow it up with another catch, and a 3rd down and 1 upcoming.
Well, Quavez Humphreys just lost concentration and focus there. Knew he had a little bit of space. Tried to turn up before catching the football, and in this 3rd down situation, I expect the ball to be in Hunter Watson's hands on a run.
Traditional set, 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 running back. McCaskill is the back. He needed the 35, and he didn't get there. So they got 9 yards on first down, but now have a decision to make on 4th.
And this is why the track is so important for a running back. Thought he got a little bit wide that time, and had he been tighter to that guard right there, there was a little bit of a crease. He would have gotten that first down.
So a great tackle there by Jaden Hardy. The last couple of years at Grambling, was a star in the Bayou Classic in New Orleans. 4th down, 1 to go. Watson is a threat to run, despite it being an empty set.
I don't agree with this call.
He will run it, and he's pushed back, doesn't get there. Western Kentucky, it's a new year. The run defense is strong when they need it. Jalen Western makes a play, and Western Kentucky takes over in great field position.
The issue with this play, a couple things. Number one, Sam Houston is trying to spread the defense out for Western Kentucky by alignment. Well, Western Kentucky still has 2 players, 2 linebackers in the box along with their offensive linemen, so they're outnumbered. And then look at how happy Tyson Helton is right there on that 4th down stop. And then the run was designed to go outside. They were trying to stretch it out there, the defense, and they're hyped up on the sideline.
Western's a talker, man. His brother LeJontay Western, might be familiar with him at Colorado, and got picked up by the Ravens. Right down the seam, deflected away. What an extension by Tyler Bailey with his fingertips to knock away what could have been a touchdown to Matthew Henry.
You want to talk about the game being a game of inches, and just the fingertips of Tyler Bailey getting up with that left paw, boom, and knocking that football away. Had he not been there, that's a touchdown.
Full extension. Prosper, Texas, his hometown. What a play. Second and 10 from the 34. A blitz. McIver has one-on-one. Floated, incomplete. Tried to get Henry. Thought there was a lot of contact there. You hear the grumbles from the crowd. Alonzo Edwards right there for Sam Houston.
And Tyson Helton wanted a flag. I thought this was just good back and forth physical play by both. There's a little bit of a grab there at the end, but I don't think that impacted his ability to catch the football.
Oh, you know she waited 229 days for college football to be back.
Didn't like that call at all.
3rd down and 10. Right. Turns it up the field. Runs right into the corner and Powell. And then has a few friends to help him complete the tackle. 4th down. And it looks like the field goal unit coming on for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, good decision by Tyson Helton. We know that he likes to be aggressive on 4th downs. Right now, Sam Houston defense playing pretty well. Get the points. It's been a tight first half so far.
So this is a test for John Cannon here. 12 for 16 last year at USF, that's South Florida, replacing a stellar kicker in Lucas Carneiro. Side spin on the kick, but it goes through. A bomb from Cannon. Just shy of 50 yards. That is a great name for a kicker. We have a lot of great names in this game. Maverick McIver, quarterback. Got Cannon as a kicker. Hunter Watson's a great name as well.
Big-time confidence booster for John Cannon right there, and good execution by the special teams in order to get 3. Remember, Sam Houston missed one earlier in the game.
You see that Euro step finish he had as a celebration, too? I know you're a hoop fan right there.
But you're actual hooper, so you would be the only one to notice something like that.
Well, this is a basketball crew, too, because Lauren Green's on the sideline. She's the sideline reporter for the Utah Jazz.
No doubt, no doubt. There's Tyson Helton, excited about getting those 3 points. And
all fans here, big basketball fans, as we know. We can find a way to relate it to any sport, right?
Well, Sam Houston, as we wind down here in the first half, they've been a little bit up and down offensively, right, Chris? They've been able to execute on some explosive plays and then find some standstills there offensively. Let's see when they get this ball back here, how they're able to answer.
Well, Jack Cassidy will kick off. He's from Northern Ireland. This is his first football game. Gets it through the end zone for the touchback. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, Adam Zucker, Aaron Taylor, Rick Neuheisel, Brian Jones will have highlights of the day's early action, including, what a game, Farmageddon. Speaking of Ireland, Iowa State, Kansas State. It was a great game. A Big 12 conference game to begin it, just like a conference game here. That's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So this is a Conference USA head-to-head in week 0. There's the preseason poll. Liberty, you read around, they're the consensus favorite, but outside of that, good luck predicting. All those teams right behind really have a reason to believe they can contend this year. Elijah Green gets about 1 on first. Brackenridge on the tackle. Of course, Conference USA this year, Turbo, adding a couple of teams new to FBS, Missouri State and Delaware.
Yeah, no doubt, and they're excited to be a part of this conference. Liberty has shown the consistency similar to West Kentucky, and that's why you see those top 2 teams, those 2 teams at the top.
Those total yards, just a mammoth gap. A one-man show so far for Watson on 2nd and 9 with 4 receivers. Chooses the one on the slot on the far side. That's Avion Smith-Mack. Spent 2 years at LIU. Ali on the tackle.
Here it is, a 3rd down situation, and so far for Sam Houston offensively, it's really been all Hunter Watson. That one big play by Rayfield Lofton, the tight end number 19. Who's going to be able to come up and make big plays outside of the quarterback here for Sam Houston?
If Western Kentucky can get a stop here, they'll have time on the backside here for a drive of their own, but instead it's Watson with a flag down in the area of holding. Watson picks up the first with his legs, but this could be coming back.
These were the ones that really hurt right here.
Holding. Number 60, offense. 10-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
There it is, number 60, right there in the middle of the screen. That left hand, boom, as Hunter Watson scrambles to the left for a 1st down. And now it's a 3rd and long situation. Those are the penalties that really hurt. Hard enough to convert on 3rd down. When you do it, tough to deal with a penalty.
Another 3rd and long. Smith-Mack in the slots. Tumbles past the 30-yard line. Still 3 yards shy of the 1st down.
Making a good chunk of those yards back, but I would still punt this football. You're in your own territory from a field position standpoint. I think a good decision here by Phil Longo to punt this football.
So they bring out Curtis Durant. Katie Hutchinson, who muffed the punt in the first quarter of this game, is back to return. Punt isn't very deep. And Hutchinson comes to the 37-yard line to make the fair catch. So far in this game, if you're just joining us, Maverick McIver, the new quarterback for Western Kentucky, transfer from Abilene Christian, hooked up with Matthew Henry for the season's first touchdown. With a big play on the ground, the quarterback Hunter Watson with the response. That puts Sam Houston in front. Lavelle Wright, 1-yard touchdown plunge, as Western Kentucky has the 17-10 lead, trying to get off to a 1-0 start in CUSA.
Opportunity for Western Kentucky to spread this lead here heading into halftime.
Hutchinson on the sweep, but has no room. The swarming defense of Sam Houston all over that. 2:40 left. Western Kentucky only has one timeout here. So Turbo, what's the strategy if you're Western Kentucky? Before you even get to that, there is an injury. That is Antavius Fish, the leader of Sam Houston, still on the field. Temperature was in the mid-80s to start. The sun setting towards the right side as you're looking at our main camera. It's almost completely set, which means it's a little bit cooler there on the field.
This is what you don't want to see for Sam Houston, top player of your defense. Hoping he's able to come back into this football game.
We're stretching him out. Can't put much weight there on his right leg. Boy, this staff, Freddie Autry-Lindsay, Phil Longo, they both talked a lot about Antavius Fish, how he came on as a transfer from Akron. A lot of production there the last 3 years, 180 tackles. But it came to a new situation and almost from the jump established himself as the leader. See if Tokyo Gordon is the Sam Houston player behind him on the depth chart. He's in. This is Marvis Parrish, the true freshman, on the ground to the 44-yard line. And that could take us to our 2-minute timeout.
If I'm Western Kentucky, take it to the 2-minute timeout. You want to get the perfect play here on 3rd down, and then you can start your 2-minute drive if you're able to convert.
Tyson Elton's like, wait, why is the clock still moving? There's supposed to be a stoppage. It's just the second year of the 2-minute timeout in college football. So they'll put 2 minutes back on there. And we'll be back to round out this first half from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Western Kentucky up a touchdown.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
We're in Kentucky, so of course we have to show you some horses. They get let out of the cage here, week 0 of college football, Western Kentucky and Sam Houston. I feel like this is a big spot here with Western Kentucky up a touchdown. 3rd down, they have the ball at their own 44. This is right off the 2-minute timeout. Sam Houston still has 2 timeouts left. So Western Kentucky, incomplete pass. You give Sam Houston the ball with a chance to respond with their 2 timeouts.
Yeah, but if you're Western Kentucky, you have the opportunity to execute on a 2-minute drive here before the half. I think you throw this football and you stay aggressive here and get into your 2 if you're able to convert.
Tight end Myers in the slot. McIver looks that way, fakes it to him. Pitter patters, cuts it up, lowers the shoulder. He put his head down to hunt for the 1st down, and he got it. So that'll stop the clock to reset the chains. Then it'll move again with 1:53.
He was looking for Jairus Mack. A little slow coming out of the break there on the corner route, heads towards the sideline. So McIver takes it himself. Good execution there on the 1st down.
Looks that direction, throws that direction, that far side. Noah Myers had 7 catches a season ago.
And because you only have 1 timeout, the strategy here for Western Kentucky is to try to get to the sidelines. There's a sideline throw there and get out of bounds. Unable to do it that time for Noah Myers, so the clock keeps moving.
And Western Kentucky with only 1 timeout. Mav McIver hustles to the sideline. That time he makes sure he gets out of bounds with 1:20.
Yeah,
A 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, you see it again. He's targeting his running back who's running a flat route there towards the sideline. He's covered, so he takes it himself. Keep in mind, Sam Houston was going to go for it on 4th down. Western Kentucky burns a timeout. Sam Houston changes their mind then to kick the field goal, a timeout that they could have had back in their back pocket for Western Kentucky had they not used it.
So they only have 1, Western Kentucky. Henry in motion, 3rd down and 2. McIver slings a flag in late. Matthew Henry ran the comeback and was tagged before the ball got there. Alonzo Edwards was in coverage.
Alonzo Edwards just a little antsy on coverage that time. Got there a little early.
Pass interference, number 0, defense. Ball will be placed at the spot of the foul, automatic 1st down.
And, you know, here it is again, a penalty, keeping the drive moving for Western Kentucky.
6 for 40. You can see right there, Western Kentucky still without a penalty. Haven't used a timeout yet on this drive in plus territory. Maverick McIver, check down. Finds that running back Hart to the sideline, scampers, and gets out of bounds. So this is just well done for Coach Helton's team. A lot of plays to the sidelines and usually getting out of bounds.
Yeah, Tyson Helton, not known for being a conservative coach. This offense trying to attack this defense, but being smart at the same time, going towards the sideline on these plays.
So the offense can catch a breath, reset, and not have to worry about the clock. 2nd and 6. McIver finds Henry again on the comeback route. He has the 1st down, so that's enough to stop the clock with 1:03 until they reset the change with the timing rules inside of 2 minutes. Henry looking a bit beat up. He's been busy. That's his 4th catch.
I thought initially he would stop short there, but a nice fight by Henry to be able to get that 1st down, keep the chains moving, and stop the clock temporarily.
They gave him the forward progress. Approaching 50 seconds left in the first half. McIver looks left, now back right, and over the middle, nearly intercepted. Henry was the target. Jaden Scott came across the field in a collision with Henry still down.
Banged up on the play before. You said it, Chris, and he's showing the toughness going across the middle the very next play into the end zone. And he doesn't even try to make an attempt to catch this football. Really, he went on the defense to try to prevent the interception and put his shoulder into it, and both players a little shaken up.
And Jaden Scott, who delivered the hit, has to be assisted to the sideline. The concern in the end zone is for Matthew Henry. Scored the touchdown for Western Kentucky in the 1st quarter. The FCS All-American a season ago at Western Illinois. One of the outside threats in the new offense for offensive coordinator Rick Bowie. And in the 10 is Jaden Scott.
Nice to see Henry there, being able to walk on his own power towards the sideline.
Two players running to the football. A big collision right by the goal line. Chance for Western Kentucky to really establish command of this game heading into halftime. Already in field goal range. Can they put another 6 on the board? Take a 2-score lead going into the break.
And you want to hold on to that timeout as long as you can. You're happy with 3 points here on this drive, but you're ecstatic about getting in the end zone. That's the goal.
McIver spins. He's blasted with his back to the 25.
Timeout here.
There's the timeout with 36 seconds. And they'll put a couple more ticks back on. C.J. Johnson was the one with the hit. So was that really worth it if you're McIver there? Decision, you get only about 3-4 yards on the scramble, but you have to use your last time out in the process.
That looked like a design run, actually, to me, Chris, and I really don't like that call in that situation. I think you should keep the ball in the air, and if you do have to scramble, you want to scramble towards the sideline or throw the football away to stop the clock, but that looked like a design run. Good job by the Sam Houston defense to make that stop, forcing then Western Kentucky to use a timeout. Now everything has to be towards the sideline. But in this third down situation, the main focus is getting a first down. Now, if you don't, you have to go into a hurry-up mode and get your field goal team. You can see the field goal team is gathered on the sideline right now for Western Kentucky for just in case they're short of a first down. The offense is going to sprint off the field. Field goal team is going to sprint on. They're going to try to execute for 3.
Great setup without a timeout. Those are some of the things you talk about. 3rd down and 7. Number 7, McIver. Receiver slipped and fell. There was contact and a penalty marker in. Jairus Mack was the receiver who slipped or maybe tripped.
I don't know about that one. He had Quincy Burrows coming open over the middle, and he's trying to break back outside. He runs into the corner to me. I thought right there, Cecil Powell, who's called for the penalty, was standing his ground.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference. 4th down.
Robert Turbin on top of that. They pick it up.
Yeah, I thought the receiver there, Jairus Mack, out-breaking route towards the sideline, and Cecil Powell in coverage, he's just standing his ground. He's just standing there. I thought a good no call by the referees.
So Turbo and the refs on the same page, at least for now. We'll see if that continues as your games go on.
Doesn't happen often.
Season, right. 42-yarder coming up for John Cannon. Hit from 49 earlier on in this half and right through from 42. With 24 ticks to go in the first half. Western Kentucky up 10.
Cannon's got that side spin down pat on his field goal. For Sam Houston here, man, you get a good return, you got a chance. We'll see if Western Kentucky decides to kick it deep. If I'm Western Kentucky, I would squib kick this football, which basically means you're going to kick a ground ball on this kickoff for Sam Houston. Hopefully to struggle to recover it, but it really gets their blocking scheme out of sorts when you kick a squib kick. That way you're potentially able to pin them deep, and in that situation, if I'm Sam Houston, I take a knee and I go into the locker room at halftime down 10 points.
Now, the kickoff specialist, Cassidy, has had the leg to get it through the end zone as well. We'll see if that's also the strategy that he goes with. Yeah, the big booming kick and the clear signal, the T signal, as that one flies through the end zone. So if you have a leg like Cassidy, maybe you don't need to do that script kick.
Not at all. Not at all.
So with 24 seconds, despite the 2 timeouts, 25-yard line here, Sam Houston. You've seen the Watson attack on the ground throughout this game, but I imagine here, as you said, probably kneeling on the ball.
Yeah, you're going to take a knee right here. Go into the half, regroup, down 10 points. We've had some positives offensively in this game, but obviously there's a lot of things to correct here. And they look like they are not listening to me as they are lined up in shotgun. They do have 2 timeouts. Perhaps they get an explosive play here early.
A draw. Oh, boy, that was dangerous. That was almost blown up on the exchange. Barely got it to McCaskill, but to your point, Turbo, that almost seemed like an unnecessary risk for a low upside.
That could have been a very, very bad situation. He runs into his own player. We've seen when guys run into their own player, a fumble end up happening, ball on the ground, but luckily they're able to go down at halftime. 10 points here.
105 week 0 games involving an FBS team. Western Kentucky, Sam Houston, one half is done. After the break, it's Adam Zucker and the crew in New York. 20-10, Western Kentucky leads. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. Western Kentucky giving their home fans a show, up 20-10. Getting ready to start the second half. College football, great to be back with my guy, Robert Turbin. I'm Chris Lewis. I know nobody's more excited to talk football than you. What did you think of that first half?
No doubt about it. I thought really both teams fighting. You saw some stuff that they need to clean up. We'll talk about it here in a second, but it's going to be a fight to the finish, a close one.
All right, some of the big plays of that first half. And it was a story of the two quarterbacks, Maverick McIver for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, he really showed the poise in the pocket, the patience in the pocket, being able to deliver the ball accurately down the field, and that's what you expected from Western Kentucky and this offense. And then for Sam Houston, how about Hunter Watson? It's been his legs, his ability to be able to dominate on the ground. I mean, he's single-handedly keeping this team in this football game. Will his supporting cast be able to step up in the second half and help this team get over the top?
See the first half numbers. The third down struggles for Sam Houston. A lot of third and longs. The difference in first downs and penalties. Hey, it's week 0 for Western Kentucky to not have a penalty through 30 minutes. Impressive.
They've really been the side here, showing the discipline so far in this football game. Sam Houston, though, gets the ball to start. Important to get off to a quick start here in the second half.
Jack Cassidy kicks off through the end zone. Let's go down to Lauren Green.
Thanks, guys. Well, Coach Longo with Sam Houston told me that this defense is doing a great job. He told me he is very happy with how they've made the Hilltoppers tighten up, force some field goals, and then heading over to Western Kentucky, Coach Helton told me that Maverick McIver, he has some calmness, some patience in the pocket, and he's seeing things very well. We'll see what happens in the second half, guys.
And Lauren, that's exactly the quality that he mentioned leading into the year, the calmness of his transfer from Abilene Christian. We've seen that. We've also seen the legs of Watson. That was billed coming in as his strength. Had the big 55-yard touchdown run in the first half. To start the second, Alton McCaskill runs through a couple of tackles, tough to bring down. Finally slung down by Jalen Lewis.
So this is the area of the game that I'd like to see Sam Houston improve on here in the second half. Running backs didn't really get off as far as production in the first half. It was all Hunter Watson. If these running backs can get going, I believe Sam Houston can get back in this football game.
It is the air raid offense, but they want to be able to run the ball like this. McCaskill navigates near side. Does he have the strides? Not quite, but still a huge chunk on the ground. Ali on the tackle. Big game for Sam Houston. It's 1st and goal.
Didn't see a lot of Alton McCaskill in the first half. It was all Elijah Green, number 21, 2 big runs for number 22 there, Alton McCaskill, and Sam Houston's going to be riding a hot hand at running back.
52-yard pickup. Watson outside the pocket, batted down. Harper Holloman got his paw on it.
Couple good runs, and then you try to get back on a play action pass, hoping to get somebody open down the field.
Tonight's Red Zone brought to you by Verizon. Sam Houston inside the 20-yard line. Last year, pretty middle of the pack when it came to red zone efficiency. Hunter Watson was leading the way last year. Has 4 receivers, 3 to the far side. 2nd and goal. Looks to the direction of the running back, McCaskill. Instead, Watson keeps it himself. Turns it up the field, gets hit hard by the sideline, and you're all over it, Turbo. Late hit, even though you have Brackenridge celebrating. That hit when he was a half step out of bounds.
And he still doesn't know.
Penalty every time.
He doesn't know he's been flagged still. They're dapping each other up. That's a late hit. He's clearly out of bounds, Hunter Watson. And boom.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit out of bounds, defense number 3. Ball will be placed, penalty is enforced, half the distance from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Sometimes it's difficult to be able to ease up on those sideline plays. They end up being bang, bang, Chris, but I thought that time Hunter Watson clearly out of bounds, showing the toughness to get back into the huddle. But I'd like to see Sam Houston give the ball back to McCaskill here. I mean, he started off the drive with 2 big runs. You've gone away from him. Feed him. Let him finish this drive for you.
Speaking of toughness, Eric Winning, our camera operator down there, took a big hit as well. Under center on 1st and goal. Here's McCaskill, blasts his way through. Alton McCaskill, touchdown Sam Houston. What a way to strike to begin the second half.
McCaskill on this drive and on this play in particular, one-on-one with a DB. You got to win that every time. And McCaskill, you could tell he's hungry here in this second half after not getting many opportunities there in the first, out to prove that he can be the guy.
I just love the excitement in your voice, Turbo, whenever a running back gets near the end zone. Former running back yourself, the extra point up and through R.J. Lopez. And Sam Houston, first drive of the second half, takes just over 90 seconds for them to find pay dirt.
Showing the patience, finding the crease, got the vision, accelerating down the field, showing the speed, and then showing the power. McCaskill getting in the end zone, get Sam Houston down 3.
No one has more travel miles this year in Conference USA than Sam Houston. They begin week 0 on the road, and Alton McCaskill finds the end zone for the first time since 2021 with Houston. That's going way back, 2021. That year he was the American Conference Rookie of the Year. Since then, a couple of stops, Colorado, and last year Arizona State.
He's dealt with some injuries over the course of his career, Chris, and he's gotten back healthy and excited to get this opportunity.
This one from the goal line. Past the 25 goes Williams, and the best return of the night so far for Western Kentucky. So decent field position. As you can see, their first half possessions. That first quarter touchdown with the Henry score, and on the ground for their second touchdown, that was Lavelle Wright.
And I think for Western Kentucky, similar to Sam Houston, I mean, Hunter Watson's been able to get going on the ground, and finally a running back there, McCaskill. But this run game for Western Kentucky hasn't really been explosive either. If they can get their ground game going, I think that opens up their passing game.
Swing pass, Parrish dances, slithers to the 41. Marvis Parrish, surprising start. He came in as a highly touted player from Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia. Rick Bowie's backyard. He used to be the offensive coordinator at Valdosta State. Again, Parrish gets his paws on it. Gets past the 45, has the first down, written out of bounds. A lot of traffic there by the sideline. Everything looks clean, and a fresh set of downs for the Hilltoppers.
Maverick McIver starting the second half similar to how he started the first one. Patient in the pocket, taking his check down, taking an easy throw, letting his receivers do the work.
Well, not much work to be done on that swing pass. Henry caught it, but had Edwards Jr. right in his way.
And these are just rhythm throws, right, from McIver. Get the ball out quickly. Then we get a good feel for the defense. And then eventually, with this Western Kentucky offense, how they like to operate, they'll take some shots downfield.
And he's playing McIver the day after his 25th birthday. A veteran at quarterback on the drag route. Barry's tagged immediately. The ball's out. And Sam Houston has it, no whistle. And scooting to the end zone, Jamar Diaz. So a collision by the sideline, ball out, and Sam Houston's sensational start to the third continues. The D2 All-American last season, Jamar Diaz,
And this is a fumble. You're talking about a defense that had 27 takeaways last season, tied for 6th nationally. And that is a clean hit, scoop, and score by Jahmyr Diaz. And the first takeaway of the game. This is what this defense, this is the staple of what this defense has been all about.
I remember what defensive coordinator Freddie Autry-Lindsey told us in our meeting yesterday. Yeah, he has the loot. The heist is what they call the turnover forcing plays for the Bearcats.
Here it is again. Catch, takes a steps, got control of the football. And what a hit that time by Alonzo Edwards Jr.
They've looked at all the areas of this play.
That is
the
a
hit,
touchdown.
The fumble, and whether he stepped out of bounds, everything's clean. Called correctly on the field. Extra point, that one goes through. And
what a turnaround.
Jahmyr Diaz. How about what Freddie Autry-Lindsey mentioned? He is #1 on our defense for a reason. We don't give out that #1 jersey just to any ordinary player. We give it to playmakers. Edwards set it up with this big hits. And Diaz delivers. Sam Houston on top, on the road. During a recent stoppage at Houchin-Smith Stadium, they played Sicko Mode by Travis Scott. One of the lines in that song, give me the loot. Well, that's exactly Sam Houston. Give them the loot. Alonzo Edwards Jr. gets to hold the money bag, the heist bag for Sam Houston, a team that has been able to turn over opponents, whether at the FBS level or back when they were at the FCS, one of the best in the country at it. Jahmyr Diaz was the one to run it back for the touchdown for the Bearcats to take the lead. 2 touchdowns in just about 3 minutes of the third quarter. Here's DeMarco Williams. Parallel running, stays up, but is dropped down shy of the 15. It's a different energy for Sam Houston here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you can tell right now the momentum is on the Sam Houston side, but even to start the second half, they came out with a much more sense of urgency. The offense got it going. Obviously with Hunter Watson and Alton McCaskill making some big plays. They got the penalty down there in the goal line area, and Sam Houston now has all the momentum after that scoop and score.
And then way back at their own 13 for Maverick McIver in Western Kentucky. But George Hart III has enough of that. Rumbles to about the 25-yard line. Allen and Bailey combined with the tackle. That's a gain of 11.
And that's exactly what Western Kentucky needs. I talked about it on the drive prior. They have to get these running backs going and get some explosive plays from them.
Hart right, and Parrish the backs. A slant to Kelby Williams. Back-to-back plays, picking up first down yardage for the Hilltoppers.
How about McIver again? He's got pressure in his face. Doesn't phase him at all. Still throws an accurate football for a first down.
Tyson Helton says that he likes his quarterbacks to be like John Wayne. Calm, cool, collected. Going with the throwback reference. He says McIver fits the bill. Looks right, then rolls back to the left. Mav McIver off the back foot, throws it away. And one of the things Helton mentioned is that he fell in love, McIver, with the boring parts. Also, Rick Bowie, offensive coordinator, going back to Abilene Christian, mentioned the same thing. And the boring part is throwing the ball away if there's no play to be made.
Well, he challenged him to be better. He challenged him to be better this offseason. And one of the things that he wanted to elevate his game on was, talking about McIver here, was his overall preparation. And, you know, taking the check down when it's there and throwing the football away. And we've seen many examples of that tonight, just the maturity at the position.
Quincy Burrows in motion. I haven't seen him much for Western Kentucky. Leading the way, blocking, slipping through Harts. Past the 45. That's where he's spotted. And for more on Mav McIver, here's Lauren Green.
Well, guys, you just mentioned that Coach Helton likes his players to line up on head to the line of scrimmage, just like John Wayne, such as what ESPN had originally reported. And Wayne said he didn't know Maverick McIver was going to have such close ties to Wayne. John Wayne's movie, The Alamo, was actually filmed on McIver's family ranch in West Texas. Now, Maverick said John Wayne even attended his grandmother's basketball games at Baylor. Really close family friends. And hey, hey, serendipitous to be reunited with a coach who wants me to play like that, guys.
Let's see him on third down, how cool he is right over the middle. He has his target, K.D. Hutchinson. And Western Kentucky has the first down. Third first down picked up on this drive.
Yeah, really nice recognition by K.D. Hutchinson. He saw that there was a defender right in front of him. Had he kept running, put that left foot down, got upfield, and converted for the first down. Nice execution there.
Drive continues in plus territory. Hart's been the feature back on this drive. Alonzo Edwards Jr. on the tackle. You're a former running back, Turbo. You have a team like Western Kentucky, 3 different backs. What's it like as a back who's in a rotation versus a feature guy?
It can be difficult to find your rhythm and groove in a football game. Try to understand how defenses are playing the blocking scheme if you're in and out of the lineup. But, you know, it's a challenge, but, you know, you got to come in there and you got to be able to still execute at a high level.
Hard again. Tried the high-level juke move, but his ankle tackled down. Another third down, but Western Kentucky has been comfortable in third downs. They're 8 for 13.
Yeah. You know, keep in mind, we talked about this offensive line for Western Kentucky. The only returner, Marshall Jackson, playing left tackle, a group that only gave up 14 sacks last season. That was 10th, all right, in the nation. But when we talk about pass protection, but also the continuity in the run game, you can tell that it's not quite sharp yet with this offensive line group.
Third down, 7 to go. McIver with a receiver with a step. The ball's out there. Matthew Henry to the sideline. Third down has been the money down for the Hilltoppers.
And one-on-one coverage has been the money coverage for Matthew Henry. Anytime he's been in that situation, Maverick McIver notices it, recognizes it, and attacks the defensive back, and they've been able to execute more times than not tonight. Again, right there to keep the drive moving.
Henry just shy of 100 yards in this game. He already has a touchdown. First and goal upcoming. Swing pass. Hutchinson has the angle, scoots in. A gorgeous drive for Western Kentucky.
That's one heck of an answer from Western Kentucky on this drive. Let's make sure he got into the end zone. There's the race to the pylon.
Oh, yeah.
And absolutely very clear that Hutchinson is able to get in for that touchdown. And what an answer by Tyson Helton, Rick Bowie, and this offense curating the drive.
Extra point through. Western Kentucky reclaims the lead. College football, boy, did we miss you. We have a good one to begin the year. A back and forth affair in Conference USA. We continue to roll with Western Kentucky in front. Next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on CBS is big time at Beaver Stadium. Our Big Ten season kicks off. Number 2 Penn State hosting Nevada. Next Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. All right, Turbo, there's a lot of hype surrounding Penn State's number 2 in the preseason poll heading into this season. Drew Aller's a guy, but are they the team?
Well, they're going to be a good team and a force to be reckoned with this season, but I don't know, man. I think history may repeat itself for Penn State. They're going to have every opportunity to prove all of us wrong.
Also should mention it's the beginning of the final season. Gary Danielson in the booth with us at CBS. So I can't wait for him to kick off his final season, and we'll be listening and watching along the way.
No doubt.
So Sam Houston, it's their turn. This has turned into a bit of a tennis match so far in this third quarter. Back and forth, volleying, and it's time for Hunter Watson. See the total yards difference, and most of those total yards for Sam Houston have come from their quarterback.
The important thing for Sam Houston is not to get caught up into that shootout hype stuff. The ground game is what got you going in the last drive. Get back to it here with McCaskill.
Watson looks middle, throws middle. He has Austin Smith, one of the tight ends, a second-year member of Sam Houston. Spotted at the 36, enough for the first down. Meanwhile, Ali, boy, is he in pain. A Philly guy, Ali. Started his college career at Charlotte.
You know, Coach talked about him. Defensive coordinator Devon Brown said he's the most respected player on this football team when he speaks. I mean, and when he speaks, everybody listens. Let's take a look at it here. He's coming to make a routine tackle and just comes up a little uncomfortable there. There was the hit. And obviously in some discomfort there as he goes to the sideline.
The way Devon Brown described Ali, like a 22-year-old going on 40.
That's right.
How mature he is.
Yeah.
First and 10 coming up. From the 36. Extended mesh point play action. So roll out for Watson. Scoots out of bounds right around the 40. It's a gain of 4. Positive play on the ground for the Bearcats.
Hunter Watson in the pocket, and look at this coverage by the defense. Man-to-man right there, step for step. Hunter Watson not able to find anybody down the field and picks up some good yardage on his own.
Second down against the 4-man front. A run with McCaskill. The big gain on the ground on the first drive of the third quarter for Sam Houston. Gets cut down there. Robbie Harrison and Jalen Lewis, the two there.
And a critical third down here as they try to answer the touchdown. I think this ball has to be in Hunter Watson's hands. Give him the option to throw or run here. False start.
Davion Smith-Mack left early. You can't do that at the Kentucky Derby or in Western Kentucky.
There he is at the top of the screen, number 1. Davion Smith-Mack. Even before the snap and pushing this team now back 5 yards. I still think the same here. Hunter Watson, give him the option here to throw or run this football. Western Kentucky looking to bring some pressure.
They come with it. Big blitz. Watson recognizes, but the throw is high. So fourth down, Grady O'Neal was the receiver. Dave Harrod, the closest to it.
Hunter Watson's got time in the pocket and just unable to connect. Here comes the pressure. I thought blocked up pretty well. McCaskill steps in the middle to get the blitzing linebacker there. That was number 21, Jalen Wester. Just unable to deliver the ball accurately, forcing a punt.
Duran punts. Emery watches it bounce inside the 20, rolls inside the 15. So a gorgeous punt by the freshman. Western Kentucky gets a stop. They have the football up 3 in the third. Western Kentucky has a chance to increase their lead here in the third as we go to our Geico plays of the game.
Here it is offensively. How about Western Kentucky? A shot to the end zone. A great catch that time by Matthew Henry. And then how about the defense for Sam Houston? The hit, the scoop, the score. Jameer Diaz takes it to the house. And we have a good game on our hands. You see the heist bag celebration at the end there.
Yeah, this game has been money. It's been fun. Glad to have college football back. You can see the offensive numbers. Chris Lewis, Robert Turbin, Lauren Green, producer Brian Sealing, director Chris Burns, all with you. Houch and Smith Stadium, the Houch here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. First down, 10 to go. Maverick McIver to the far side. J. Iris Mack weaves and has the first down. Juking through defenders like they're cones in preseason drills.
Here's a player right now. You give him a little bit of space, make one guy miss, and boom, he accelerates down the sideline. Max got some good speed. Good execution there to get the first down.
At the 30, Parrish. That is his 8th carry of the game. A player who was playing high school football just a year ago is the team's leader in carries in the opener.
Not able to get much going on the ground tonight, Parrish. Had an outstanding training camp, and that's how you earn the starting job. But this defense for Sam Houston been stout so far against the run.
Tight end is Noah Myers. This is second down. McIver sets the feet, guns it deep. Receiver with a step. Berry brings it in. Penalty marker down. Musa Berry mosses the defense.
Rolling out to his left, and Musa Berry just with a little bit of a stutter, able to get behind the defense.
Pass interference. Number 2, defense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
And that's Cecil Powell trying to play catch up there on the coverage. And it didn't matter anyway. Musa Berry able to come down with it. There he is in chase mode there. Just gets there early. Musa Berry still able to hang on.
He's been a big play receiver. McIver flings. Wheel route is there. Perfect throw. Marvis Parrish. McIver put it out there to a dot. Touchdown, Western Kentucky.
Now we're starting to see this down the field throwing game for West Kentucky. Gets the catch 1 foot, gets 2 feet just because, and Maverick McIver feeling it right now as Western Kentucky has an opportunity to go up 10.
John Cannon makes sure. Back-to-back touchdowns, Western Kentucky. And Maverick McIver, majestic at the quarterback position in his first game for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, really nice play design, keeping the Sam Houston defense on their toes. And he's gonna come across the formation. That's Parrish. Number 21, and outrun then the linebacker. And that's a matchup running backs like now, Chris. You get that one-on-one matchup with a linebacker on those wheel routes. You feel like you're gonna win those 99% of the time, and Parrish able to get it done right there.
I mean, what a debut for Parrish. Earn the job as a freshman in camp.
True freshman.
Gets the first carry, gets the start in his first college game, and shows the versatility out of the backfield, making the catch for his first career touchdown. Cassidy, this one bounces in the end zone. Haven't seen returns from Sam Houston tonight. Marvis Parrish, part of the weaponry of Maverick McIver, and he's a running back. I mean, he has 5 catches.
It's an offense that likes to utilize their running backs in the passing game. Everybody's an option in this Western Kentucky passing attack, and you see it right there. Parrish, 5 receptions in this game, and that last one goes for a touchdown.
Annually one of the best passing offenses in college football, no matter the quarterback. Watson trying through the air. One-on-one, far sideline. Penalty flag in. Nasir Ward was covering Tim Burns.
A lot of contact right there. And I think Coach Helton on the Western Kentucky side is arguing that the receiver was holding the DB.
Pass interference. Number 6, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
But what do you see when you take that extra look?
I thought that was pass interference. I thought it was a good call. For Sam Houston, though, as we take another look at it, here's Hunter Watson.
That fist bump at the end.
No doubt.
Sometimes you throw the moon ball, you hope for the flag. Green surrounded and blasted in the backfield. Jaden Gray comes slicing through with the help of Malatumau.
I really think it's important for Sam Houston not to get away from that. I know that's a negative play there on the ground, but there's still a space where you can run that read option where you're either going to give it to the running back or Watson's going to pull it himself. Really puts the defense in a tough situation on those type of plays.
It's been a lot of and longs, 2nd and 12s, 3rd and 10s for Sam Houston. Watson creates again. Sideline tiptoe outside of the 45. They say he stepped out at the 42-yard line. So 3rd down again for Sam Houston. You can see their 3rd down numbers in this game. It's been rough, 1 for 8.
And you said it, Chris. And the reason why they're 1 for 8 is because they're constantly in 3rd and long situations. Tough to convert those and makes your offense very predictable in those passing concepts when you're in those situations.
3rd and 8, 4-man rush. Watson hit as he throws, bobbled and dropped. Rayfield Lofton had it in his hands. That would have been enough for the 1st down, catching on the run. A little bit of a limp as he heads back. It's 4th down.
A nice, accurate throw. Maybe could have took a little bit off this one, but Rayfield Lofton allows that ball to get into his chest. Got to catch that with your hands. Turn those hands over. And if he's able to do that, man, he's got some real estate out in front of him, similar to the play that he had in the 1st half. Nonetheless, here's the punt.
Duran punts. Emery, fair catch, just inside the 20. Welcome to another college football season. Some of the headlines heading into this campaign. Buckeyes, and they go back-to-back, but at the top, Arch Manning. Feel like he's had a hype that would be extremely hard to live up to, but number 1 Texas, they have everything you need.
I mean, I think it's hard not to pay attention to Arch Manning in Texas. First of all, he's a Manning, all the success that they've had in their family. But then Texas being number 1, like you mentioned, Chris, that added pressure.
Feels like that top line and the bottom line on that graphic are related. Who can win the Heisman? I think Arch Manning, one of the favorites heading in, despite this being his first full season as a starter. Kelby Williams, that's the 1st down catch, picks up about 4. Maverick McIver, 45 passing attempts. Yes, he's picked up right where he's left off from Abilene Christian. Of course, Tyson Helton hiring Rick Bowie as the offensive coordinator from Abilene Christian, as well as bringing on the quarterback. Batted down at the line of scrimmage, 3rd down coming up.
And this has been the Achilles heel for Sam Houston, these 3rd down situations, as we take a look at big number 98, Quadrell Pack, getting his big palm up there to knock that football down. Defense got to find a way to get off the field here, give their offense an opportunity to get back on the field in some good field position.
Spread it out 4 wide on 3rd and 5. Tyson Helton on Western Kentucky's sideline uses a timeout.
Western Kentucky, their first and a half. This will be the 32nd timeout.
The thing that we haven't seen a lot from Sam Houston defensively is them bring blitz. They've been selective on it. They've been able to get a little bit of pressure, but you would think that with the brand new offensive line outside of Marshall Jackson, left tackle, that Sam Houston would bring more pressure to try to confuse this offensive line and get them off guard.
Welcome inside the booth, Chris Lewis, Robert Turbin, and this has been a fun back-and-forth way to begin the year, week 0. Now, Western Kentucky has a chance right now to really wrestle away control of this game.
No doubt about it. Critical 3rd down. They've been good on 3rd down all game long, but this is also an opportunity for Sam Houston. Listen, they love to take away the football. They've been aggressive attacking the football. Can they find a way to get another takeaway right here?
Freddie Autry-Lindsey Can his defense get a key stop? Game in the danger zone for Sam Houston. Here's third down, comeback route. Williams makes the catch, and forward progress initially ruled first down yardage. Yes, sir, first down. Western Kentucky.
All game long, this is what it's come down to. It's been one-on-one matchups, wide receiver versus DB, and Western Kentucky has won the battle so far tonight.
Came with pressure. Well, this is a run with Lavelle Wright, player from Kentucky. Started his college career at Kentucky before going to Austin Peay last year, and now his first year here with the Hilltoppers.
And Western Kentucky keeping their foot on the gas right back to the line of scrimmage, trying to tire out this defense.
Another run, right to the 35. Another carry for Wright. And for more, here's Lauren. My bad on that. We'll just keep it here in the booth. Lavelle Wright, Louisville, Kentucky, his hometown. 6 foot, 222 pounds. Mentioned he began his career at Kentucky. Spent 3 years there. Austin Peay a season ago. He scored a touchdown in the second quarter of this game. He's out to the right on this third down. McIver pressured, runs out of time. Flag down. Late pushing and shoving as well. Lawton was the first one there to wrestle the quarterback.
Huge play by the defense, much needed. You're gonna get a holding call.
Holding, number 65, offense. Penalties declined. Result of the play, fourth down.
So Smith with the penalty. They decline it. Sam Houston finally gets that key third down stop they needed.
Yeah, that was big time. And initially McIver was looking at right there, Lavelle Wright, towards the sideline to the right side. Wasn't open, tried to hit a shot down the field. Good coverage there by Sam Houston. And that allowed them then to be able to get in the backfield to get the sack.
So it brings on the punt unit. And it's a deep, big, booming punt for Maynard, looking like his dad with that huge punt. Down at the 2. They march up to the 3. Still a brilliant punt by Cole Maynard, the son of Brad, who was a punter in the NFL for 15 years.
We want to talk about the importance of special teams. This is a good example of it right here. You think Sam Houston's going to have pretty decent field position, and Maynard's like, not this time, and kicks a boom there. And Western Kentucky then able to down it inside of the 5-yard line.
It is a family of punters. Not just his dad, but his older brother, Connor, punted at Miami of Ohio and at App State. So younger bro, Cole, with a huge one to change field position. Officially a punt of 71 yards. Watson to the corner, it's there. Great pitch and catch to Grady O'Neal past the 30-yard line. Spins to the 32.
This was all about the play action. Play action pass, gets the defense to come down towards the line of scrimmage. Good execution there. That was Devon Herrard who went down the line of scrimmage playing safety. That opened up the slot receiver there to be able to get that catch down the field for a first down. Nice execution.
On what could be the final play of the third quarter. It's blown up in the backfield. Anthony Brackenridge could celebrate this time without the threat of a penalty.
Blitz is off the edge. And look at that. He's excited. I'm making plays, baby. That's what it's all about.
The only 4-year member of this defense. He's waited his time to become a starter. Third quarter complete here at Western Kentucky. In week 0 Conference USA action. Third quarter, 28 combined points, each team with 2 touchdowns. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico. Having fun at the house in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Score by quarter. That third was fun. Yeah, college football is back, baby. 14-14 in the third quarter, which means the deficit is still 10 points in the hole for Sam Houston. Western Kentucky, when they have the lead after 3, under Tyson Helton, they usually close it out. Second down and 13 to start quarter number 4. And Hunter Watson, mobile threat at quarterback, takes the check down, but not much for Alton McCaskill.
What a tackle. What a tackle that was right there. Nazir Ward, one-on-one situation with a running back. McCaskill tries to make him miss, and he's able to get him down. And this is critical right here. Sam Houston needs to convert on this third down.
1 for 9 on third downs.
Haven't seen much Michael Phoenix tonight. He's usually the primary wide receiver. Him and Quavez Humphreys. Can they show up here big on third down?
Phoenix without a catch. Third down, Western Kentucky blitzes. Picked up. Watson, out pattern right there. Grady O'Neal. They needed it. They get it. First down, Bearcats. Looking like the Aircats when they need it. Gain of 13.
Couple big-time plays for Grady O'Neal. The first one to start this drive on a sideline route. Here it is on third down. Going right back to that same sideline. Thought he got away with a little bit of a push-off there, but able to get upfield and get that first down. I think this is a critical drive here for Sam Houston. They've got to get points after the big sack by their defense on the last drive.
They're in shot range here around midfield after you pick up a first down. We'll see how Phil Longo approaches this one. Instead hands it off. McCaskill into a pile and picks up a couple.
I really like the call there. Keep the defense honest. You understand you're down 10 points. It's the fourth quarter. Important, though, to still lean on your ground game some. Keep the defense honest. Keep them playing down towards the line of scrimmage. That way, when you are ready to take those shots, they'll open up for you.
Phil Longo, you just saw him there. He's calling plays as the head coach for Sam Houston. Although Zach Patterson is the leader of designing the game plan heading into the week. Second down and 8. Another blitz. Pocket clean. Watson backpedals. Examines downfield and throws it away. That's impressive for Western Kentucky. They blitz but still have the coverage.
And a nice job by the offensive line. I mean, really good execution from both sides. The offensive line did a good job in protection, but how about the coverage right here? Western Kentucky, they're in man coverage, and they're on those guys like Water and Rice, but look at the protection. They bring the blitz. The offensive line able to hold up, but Watson just not able to find any targets down the field, does the smart thing and throws it away. Play another down here on third. I think this is 4 down territory here if you're Sam Houston. If you're unable to convert here, I think you go for it.
And it's a 4-man rush, a flick of the wrist and a deep ball. Intercepted. Jalen Lewis underneath. And turns it back up the field once more. First turnover of the game for Sam Houston. Devon Brown fired up. His defense makes its biggest play of the night.
And just a bad decision that time for Hunter Watson. Threw the ball up in double coverage. How about Western Kentucky? Jalen Lewis coming down with the interception and Devon Brown loving it. Western Kentucky with the ball back up 10.
Jalen Lewis makes the interception for Western Kentucky. They lead. Big play for Devon Brown's defense, and Lauren explains the changes that they've made.
Well, guys, if you want to play defense under co-defensive coordinator Devon Brown for the Hilltoppers, you have to sign this little contract right here. It's a 6-month contract right on the dotted line. And this is, if you take a look at everything, you have to show up on time. You have to be early. You can't disrespect your coach's time, asking for rides too late. There's a lot of things on this list, but Coach Brown does this so for various reasons. He played at Florida Atlantic. He didn't do these small things. He wants his team to be bought in. And for reference, it's a little more colorful, some more colorful language that he gives the players. What we saw was just kind of the PG version, guys.
And it's almost like a Coach Carter type thing. You got to sign a contract to play on this defense. Musa Berry was the intended receiver on that last play, but Turbo, his reaction, he is a walking ball of energy.
He's fired up about his defense, and he cares about his players. He really does. I mean, he doesn't want his guys making the same mistakes he did when he was in college, and loves to see those guys out there making plays.
Parallel running, and the freshman Parrish cuts it up the field. Third down coming up. And to that, I mean, you played for a lot of different coaches. How often have you seen something like that?
I've never seen a contract.
You want a signing bonus?
Yeah, the only contract I've ever signed was, you know, playing in the league, honestly.
How many zeros were on your contracts?
Man. Big third down here for Sam Houston.
They come with a blitz, but they leave open the running back. Parrish has the first down. Shows off the elusiveness past the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and that's the risk you take when you bring pressure. I like the call, but just not able to get out in time to cover the running back up to the outside, and a good move there. That's Jaden Scott in coverage.
McIver, defender slips. Henry's there, brings it in. Shimmies at the 25, accelerates inside the 10. So a gorgeous throw, right on the money, and then Henry makes more out of it. First and goal, Hilltoppers.
I mean, I'm telling you, when these wide receivers have been in one-on-one against these corners, they've won most of the time in this game. In a double route right there by Matthew Henry, able to lose then Alonzo Edwards Jr., who's in coverage, and another big play down the field.
That's 57 yards. McIver is sizzling. Parrish bullies inside the 5. McIver over 400 yards passing. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Tyson Helton might have done it again.
Well, Western Kentucky now starting to impose their will. Right now, Sam Houston's got too many guys on the field. They're good now. Western Kentucky can take their time, getting to the right play here.
This drive, remember, off the Watson interception. Second down, goal to go. McIver lowers the shoulder. He's done it all tonight.
He's in.
Haven't had the official signal yet. There it is, touchdown, Western Kentucky.
Well, he hadn't called his number many times tonight, Chris. Decided to do it there, and a second, third, fourth effort, able to plow his way into the end zone, and where's Kentucky starting to run away with this one tonight?
The guy lauded for his calmness, his cool under pressure. A day after his 25th birthday. A celebration on his birthday, Maverick McIver. 25 in style. Started with the pick, Jalen Lewis. And then Maverick McIver. That's 7 and 7 for college football on CBS Sports Network, presented by Geico.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. By Verizon. And by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef?
Big Red might have a lot of fun this year watching this Western Kentucky offense, like Big Red does every year watching Western Kentucky's offense. 40-piece and 50 pass attempts for Maverick McIver. Over 400 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He just ran one in. What a debut for the Abilene Christian transfer.
A lot of pressure on him coming in, a lot of high praise on his skill set. But, you know, when we talked to Tyson Helton about McIver, he said, look, he's got to go ahead and prove it. And we like what he's done in training camp. We understand what he did at Abilene Christian, but you know, he hadn't done it on this level. And I'm sure head coach Tyson Helton is liked what he's seen tonight.
He's passed nearly every test. Elijah Green out of the backfield on the swing from Watson. Following up on Western Kentucky offensively, and this is a program that no matter what, whether it's a transfer coming in like Austin Reed or like Bailey Zappi, they seemingly find ways to move the football through the air. I'm reminiscent of the Zach Kitley, Bailey Zappi coming in from Houston Baptist in 2021 and them having a record-setting season. You bring in Bowie from Abilene Christian as the offensive coordinator. With his quarterback, it has yielded results in week 0. Green on the ground. So 2 runs, pick up a combined 5 yards. And it's 3rd down. I guess the first was a swing pass, but still 3rd down on medium distance.
I think everything for the rest of the game for Sam Houston is 4-down territory. You don't get this 3rd down conversion here, you go for it, and I'd like to see them try to attack this defense down the field. I mean, you're down, but the game's not over. No time to be conservative here.
Watson keeps, looks to throw instead of stiff arm as he's escorted out of bounds shy of the sticks. Dave Harrod.
That was a misread that time. He had the option to give it to the running back, and that's exactly what he should have done right there, and decided to keep it himself. Not enough for the 1st down, and like I mentioned, everything on this drive is 4-down territory, and Phil Longo and this offense going for it here to try to keep this drive moving.
It's a gotta have it for Sam Houston. 4th and 3.
Call timeout.
So Sam Houston uses their first of 3 timeouts in the 2nd half with 8:29 to go.
Really interesting approach to this drive. I mean, here it is, down big in the game. You start the drive with a throw behind the line of scrimmage, then you run it, and you run it again, and I would have expected Coach Longo and this offense to try to be aggressive with some shots down the field. Didn't have to be deep, but maybe some more intermediate throws over the middle, things of that nature, you know, to try to push the defense and push this drive and get back in this football game. And so far, they've been really conservative on this drive.
Well, it's going to be a process for Phil Longo and Sam Houston, no matter what. You come into a team that did win 10 games last year, their 2nd year at FBS, but so much turnover. And Longo, who does have those Sam Houston connections back when he was the offensive coordinator 2014, 2016, that air raid style, but still an adjustment from what they had in years past. And you see right here, the punt unit is on 4th and 3.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, you said it was 4-down territory from here on out. Longo disagrees. And they sent it back. Fair catch called by Emery. That's actually Mack who called the fair catch for Western Kentucky. Up 17. All they want is a fun trip to Hilligan's at this point after. Tonight's player of the game brought to you by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. I'll give you a hint. He's a Maverick.
And he's a Texas native. And he's been excellent tonight. We talked about how last season at Abilene Christian he threw for almost 4,000 yards. Well, he's already on track to do something like that this season at the next level here in Conference USA for Western Kentucky. He's been poised, he's been confident, he's been accurate. You see it right there, 33 for 50, 401 yards, 3 touchdowns, one of them on the ground. He's been more than excellent tonight, and I think when they watch this film tomorrow, Tyson Helton, Rick Bowie, here he is right there, offensive coordinator who came with him from Abilene Christian. They're going to be impressed.
The duo reunited in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and they put up numbers in the FCS, doing it now, FBS. Again, a new quarterback with Caden Veldkamp transferring to FAU to be with Zach Kitley, who's now the head coach there. You remember Kitley and Bailey Zappi, what they did as a transfer OC duo, Houston Baptist, 2021 here at Western Kentucky at their record season.
This is run the football time for Western Kentucky.
And run they do. Parrish tumbles. Man, is he impressive. Marvis Parrish has made a couple of impressive plays, both on the ground and through the air.
Well, you can tell that he's really just gotten better throughout the game. I thought early on he was sort of rushing a little bit, which is normal for a young player getting his first opportunity to play in college. And as the game has gone on, the game has really slowed down for him. And he's slowed down, and he's been able to find some good creases there to get some good yards.
The former high school quarterback is met right at the line of scrimmage by C.J. Johnson. But it was funny. We were talking to Rick Bowie yesterday, and he was talking about Marvis Parrish and saying like he began recruiting Parrish when Bowie was the offensive coordinator at Valdosta State, and of course Parrish from Valdosta, Georgia. And he knew pretty young that Bowie didn't have a shot at Valdosta State.
He said, I recruited him to no avail. And I'm sure he's glad to have him now, that's for sure.
3rd down and 3 coming up, and of course Tyson Helton and company more than happy to see that play clock wind down.
Not on the same page there. You know, the other thing I thought was really interesting in our conversation with Coach Rick Bowie, offensive coordinator, as we take a look at Tyson Helton. And, you know, they both talked about really the autonomy that Maverick McIver has at the line of scrimmage. You know, if he sees he goes to the line of scrimmage, he recognizes something, he can change the play, he can get out of something. He talked about the line of scrimmage being like a street light, right, Chris?
Yeah.
For the quarterback, right?
Said has to make it simple. Used to teach 4th graders. Rick Bowie. He used to be a 4th grade teacher.
Right. That's
so
right.
He's like, I know how to make things simple for people.
Yeah, right. You said red light, absolutely not, right?
Yes.
We're running the play, but most players are yellow, you know, and you can make some adjustments there. But when you got the green light, and man, you take your shots, and boy, they've had a lot of green lights tonight.
Green means go. 41 points worth of go. McIver, that time the red light is on. He is stopped. Driven back at about the 27-yard line. Chauncey Cheedy makes his first sack of the season.
Yeah, I really would like to see, I would have liked to have seen Western Kentucky give the ball to Marvis Parrish right there in the 3rd and short situation, run the football. The clock is still moving anyway, but you don't want to put your quarterback in harm's way here late in the game. It's getting out of reach here. Nonetheless, punt situation, they're going to try to block it.
Maynard had a 71-yard punt earlier on in this game. They come after it. Angles this one to the sideline, which was the key. Does bounce and roll to Allen. Gets to about the 39-yard line. All right, so Western Kentucky, this is what they have coming up. They have North Alabama, Toledo, you got Nevada, CBS Sports Network game against Delaware, new to FBS, their first year here in Conference USA.
Yeah, very similar to Sam Houston a couple years ago, making the move up. And
should mention Missouri State, same situation there, first year.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. These programs continuing to grow and climb the ladder and reach new heights. And we got 2 pretty good ones tonight, West Kentucky, although with the advantage.
Expected to contend Western Kentucky in Conference USA this season. Wide throw to Landon Coco Brown and out of bounds. From Denton, Texas, we haven't called Coco Brown's name yet tonight.
I thought we would see him a little bit earlier in this football game, but it's interesting because, you know, Coach Longo talked about the depth at the running back position for Sam Houston, but, you know, other than a couple big runs in the 3rd quarter, they've been ineffective.
Watson slant. Oh, boy, a big hit right across the middle of the field. A flag comes in. So an incompletion, but we'll check. The officials will, sure, call targeting here, and then they'll review it. Brady O'Neill was the one to take the worst of it.
To me, at full speed, it looked like both players were going for the football. It didn't really even look like the defender was trying to make the
Personal
hit.
foul. Targeting, number 26. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Play is under further review.
Yeah, I like to take a look at this here because to me it looked like Jai Eugene Jr., that's number 26. He was going for the interception. Let's see here. Oh no, he was trying to make the hit there. Looked like he was trying to get his left shoulder in it.
So what's interesting here, the receiver's defenseless, so trying to make the play. So that's the first part of it.
That's a tough call right there, man. That is really tough.
So the question here is with Eugene, you don't see necessarily a launch, although the helmet is involved, but did he have an action of the helmet
see how he
to
turns,
launch into?
See how he turns to his left right there? I didn't see a launch. What do you think?
And then the other part of the language is forcible contact. Now that's where the forcible contact was certainly there. And the head was involved. This one, I'm glad to have an analyst with me in the booth, like yourself, to make rulings there. And it's good to see O'Neal up, because that hit was hard and up high. So here we go. The different elements I was mentioning. The launch, we talked about that. Leading with the helmet, we've talked about that. The receiver was defenseless, which is an indicator there. So we know that's the trigger for this review for targeting. But that first part right there, leaving the feet to attack. See if the officials deem that this element here.
I think it's going to stand. I think it's going to stand, but it is a really tough call because I don't see a launch. I didn't necessarily even see him lead with his shoulder necessarily. It was more like the left chest area.
So of course, with this in the second half, the stakes here would be Jai Eugene Jr. would not be able to play in the first half of the next game against North Alabama.
Yeah, I think the call's going to stand. It's a tough one. It's a tough one, and the referees, they have to make that call. I mean, but it happens so fast.
For our first targeting of the year, I think this is a really close one. Sometimes they're more obvious. This one is really close.
Yeah, because like I said, at full speed, it looked like Jai Eugene was trying to make the interception. And when you slow it down, you see there he's sort of breaking down, and then he turns his shoulder, tries to get his head out of it.
You want me to make a call? I'm going to say this is overturned.
I think it's going to stand.
Okay.
That's the call that I have. I think it's going to stand. I think it's going to be upheld.
A new language, upheld, instead of confirmed or stands. One of the rule tweaks, if you will, language tweaks in college football.
And you can tell it's a close call because they're taking a long time to look at this, right? I mean, that's a tight one. The important thing is that, Grady O'Neal is able to get up and, walk on his own power to the sideline. You love to see that.
It's been a tough one, the debut for Phil Longo as the head coach. Remember, the last time he was a head coach, Longo, was LaSalle, Philadelphia, 2004 and 2005. So we're talking about nearly 2 decades in between stints of being a head coach.
And he talked about that as well in terms of, even though he's been a coordinator over the last 20 years or so, he's had similar roles of a head coach. He's had the autonomy, to be able to control the offensive side of things, and he's been involved in the NIL and, all the things that go into the evolution of college football, which you don't normally see from a coordinator, and I think it prepared him to be a head coach here.
After review, replay was not able to confirm all aspects of targeting. Therefore, there is no targeting on number 26. He is allowed to stay in the game.
Okay, so I said I thought the call was going to be upheld, but I did mention in the beginning that I didn't really see all of the aspects for targeting there.
Yeah, we went through the different elements, and you just didn't see. The head was involved, but there wasn't any attack. There wasn't necessarily a launch. And it was close, very close.
Really
and that's why
close.
they took their time to make
really
sure.
Close.
And that's good news for Jai Eugene Jr., who will be able to finish this game and start the next game against North Alabama. Meanwhile, 3rd down and 10. Sam Houston down 3 scores, need a big play. Try for the out pattern, just out of the reaching hands of the target, Malik Phillips. And it's 4th down with 6:07 left.
Well, I think you got to go for it right here. I mean, you know, game's on the line. And offense is staying on the field this time. I like for them to try to attack something vertical. Everything feels towards the sideline for Sam Houston. See if you can get something towards the middle of the field, down the hash marks there.
Gotta have it. 4th down. Watson shimmies, sidearm throw. It's low and incomplete. The official says no catch. And it's a turnover on downs for the Bearcats.
Hunter's got to run that. He's got, look at all this green grass in front of him. Does a good job escaping. He's got nothing but green grass. He's got to run that, get out of bounds, just to avoid the hit, but decides to throw it. It's low, and this Western Kentucky defense excited, Tyson Helton excited, and they are in complete control of this football game now.
Maverick McIver, what a start. His first game as a Hilltopper, 400 passing yards, 4 total touchdowns in his debut in Conference USA since 2021. Of course, Bailey Zappi with his offensive coordinator from Houston Baptist who came on, and Zach Hitley. Those two put together those numbers. And all offseason, the talk for Western Kentucky, could Rick Bowie and Maverick McIver, both from Abilene Christian, could they do something similar? Well, so far, they've matched the script.
Yeah, they've checked the box on that. That was the big question mark coming in. Can you be as good? And we even talked to Coach Helton about it, and Coach Helton was, you know, look, he talked about how great Bailey Zappi was, and he said, look, Austin Reed broke NCAA records.
Yes.
So, McIver's got a long way to go, but
they have a fraction of that success.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great year for the fans here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Now, one of the things that Tyson Helton mentioned was that, hey, when you go to the portal, this era of college football, you're always, in a way, looking at scouting other teams, other quarterbacks. But when you scout quarterbacks, you're also naturally scouting play callers, too. And you go back to 2021 and what he did there, and a similar script here. Like, when you scout a guy like McIver, you're also scouting the guy who was calling McIver's plays.
Yeah, I think that's just a unique way that Tyson Helton goes about his recruiting business and you know, his scouting process for quarterbacks. But you know, he did take a liking to Rick Bowie, and it's interesting, he was recruiting Maverick McIver first before being interested in Rick Bowie, and decided then to bring them both along.
Yes, interesting thing is, like, you're watching this guy on tape. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like this play. But wait, what about the guy calling those plays too? And they decided to make it a match. And for Bowie, again, just a fascinating rise. This is a guy who was teaching the 4th grade for 4 years after he was in college, and then at the age of 28 decided to get into coaching and became a GA. He said the world's oldest GA for Dana Holgerson. And then you just fast forward the clock 5 years, and now he's calling plays for a launching pad program like Western Kentucky. Like, guys who call plays here go on to be coordinators and head coaches at high levels. And Zach Hitley, we've mentioned him before. Now he's the head coach at FAU.
Yeah, Rick Bowie called this place a dream place that he really didn't even think was possible for him to get an opportunity at, and, well, dreams come true.
3rd down, Sam Houston all over that run. George Hart had no chance. About half the defense for the Bearcats there. The #1 unit in Conference USA last year, but a whole new group lost their top 16 tacklers from a season ago. It's Boyd who lost the lid, gets the dap from the sidelines. 4th down and 5.
Where's Kentucky going to keep this offense on the field? The idea here is that if you're able to convert a 1st down, obviously you're able to continue to run this clock. And so I expect Maverick McIver to drop back and try to throw this ball to convert this first down here.
Snaps it with 6 on the play clock. Slant, it's dropped. Quincy Burrows can't hang on, so a turnover on downs. I wouldn't think his team was up 41-24. Now he said he has no hobbies, Rick Bowie. He's all football all the time.
Yeah, no doubt. Quincy Burrows that time hadn't been involved much tonight. That's the risk you take, too, throwing the football. You know, he stopped the clock. Doesn't really matter much at this point, but getting back to Coach Rick Bowie, I mean, yeah, he lives, breathes, and eats football. His wife told him he needs to get a hobby.
I imagine, like, when he was a teacher teaching 4th graders, like, every lesson plan, like, let's do math by adding 7s, touchdowns. 7 plus 7 is 14 plus 7. So, like, every lesson had to be related to the pigskin.
No doubt.
Watson surrounded. He likes that sidearm motion, knee on the ground when he caught it, so Smith-Matt can't run. But he does have enough for the first. Huge roster turnover, both sides, over 50 transfers for Sam Houston. One of the more difficult parts for the Bearcats is over 30 of their incoming transfers have been since the spring. Had a lot of exits after spring ball and had to fill those gaps. Watson across the body throw. Brackenridge can't bring him down. Green keeps moving. Green, wow, Green means go all the way to the 20-yard line. Elijah Green making something out of nothing.
Yeah, and I tell you what, as a head coach, Phil Longo, assistant coaches, you see the games out of reach.
Out on the field for injury to the defense.
An injured player there on the defense. That's number 3, Anthony Brackenridge. But you love to see the fight. You know, the game's out of reach, and you really get, you know, an indication of what type of team you have, Chris, when, you know, the game's out of reach. Like, are you still playing hard? You know, are you still giving me 100%? Sam Houston showing the fight right now. You got to love it.
Still learning a lot about his team, Phil Longo. He said, there's nobody on our team that can point to everybody on the team and say their name. They just don't know each other like that yet. They're still gelling. You've seen the growing pains so far in this game. Yeah, the most incoming transfers in Conference USA. Western Kentucky right at the top. You know, Sam Houston, a lot coming and going as well.
It's pretty much the norm for college football these days.
Watson jukes. Looks up to the 5. He's bent backwards right at the 1. That'll be the last play before the 2-minute timeout here in the 4th quarter. Sam Houston fighting to the end. But Western Kentucky 2 minutes away from being able to celebrate the return of college football in style at home. Oh, just laying around. That'll be a bunch of guys next Saturday when college football returns.
Was that Michael Parsons?
Coming up next, there's more gridiron action. Vegas Nighthawks take on the Green Bay Blizzard in Indoor Football League National Championship game. See which team can take home the title. That's next right here on CBS Sports Network. I can't get over you saying it's not Michael Parsons. Like, but speaking of you know, guys who are actually on the field right now, Hunter Watson, just the toughness of this guy. All last season, he took big hits, and he's doing it again in this game, taking some hits, bent backwards, but he is tough.
Showing
Still
his character.
there. Yeah,
he's showing his character, who he is, fighting until the very end of the game. You love that. You really do. And as a teammate, you respect it as well.
Goes under center, fakes, pressured, and slung down. Jaden Gray throws him back for Western Kentucky.
The La Tech transfer coming off the edge and getting into the action as well. And how about the celebration? This defense has been extraordinary all night. I mean, they came into this game, into this year with a lot of pressure on them, a lot of attention, and they've showed up big tonight.
Yeah, he signed that contract. Nothing in the contract that says you can't celebrate success. 3rd and goal, sideline throw. That's Quavez Humphreys. It'll be 4th and goal. Referencing the contract that Western Kentucky defenders have to sign up for. And just a couple of rules and regulations that Devon Brown, the defensive coordinator, instilled. We got the report earlier in this game from Lauren Green about that. Got to say, they probably passed the test in week 0.
No doubt about it. And there's always things that you're going to correct. You're going to watch the tape. You're going to want to fix. I mean, it wasn't the cleanest game from the Western Kentucky defense tonight, but I'm sure they're happy with the result in terms of the plays that they were able to make.
4th down and goal. Watson going back at it. Won't get there. Not even close. They swarm Dave Harrod. And it's a turnover on downs. The exclamation points for Western Kentucky's opener in 2025.
Trying to make something happen. Nobody open down the field. Again, the coverage, this secondary for West Kentucky, all over the place. And there it is, the defense just loving every bit of it. And, you know, when we had our meeting with Coach Devon Brown, defensive coordinator for Western Kentucky, he talked about that secondary being the deepest unit on the defense. And, man, they've played big time tonight. Sam Houston, 2 timeouts left. This is, you could take a knee here. You've got enough space. I don't think Sam Houston's going to use their timeouts here. They're going to run the football.
Yeah, they'll run it with right.
Try to get a little bit more space from the line of scrimmage or the goal line.
It doesn't seem like Sam Houston's calling a timeout. There's their upcoming schedule. A lot of CBS Sports Network games, including you next week, Turbo. We'll see them against UNLV.
Oh, yeah. Big-time game, big-time expectations for UNLV, and nice for Sam Houston to get one under their belt, right? There's something that they'll be able to look at and grade after this game, and look at some of the things that they want to improve on. I think they've got to be more intentional offensively about running the football with their running backs.
Remember, Bauer Stadium, their usual home field, is under renovation, so their home games, they'll have to make a 71-mile drive to Shell Energy Stadium in Houston. Right on the outside, slips a tackle. And if you know that area, 71-mile drive, it might sound like a little over an hour. Depending on time of day, it might be quite a bit more than that.
Oh, I'm glad you're telling me now, because I don't know the area. So I guess I better get my mind right for a little traffic.
That play will be the last from scrimmage. Western Kentucky. Hey, a lot of new with that guy, Maverick McIver, one of the best names in college football. He plays one of the best games you can as a debut for the Hilltoppers. Hate it or love it, the Toppers on top to begin 2025. Western Kentucky 41, Sam Houston 24. Smooth way to begin it for Tyson Helton in his 7th season. For Robert Turbin, Lauren Green, our entire crew, I'm Chris Lewis. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. After the break, we'll send you out to the IFL Championship. It's the Vegas Nighthawks, the Green Bay Blizzard. See ya from Kentucky.